Who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Who's that?
Prize.
You don't know who that was? Come on. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Shady's back. Who sings that? I'll give you a hint. You ready for the hint?
Uh-huh.
It's not Hershey's Kisses. Eminem. Hey.
I don't really know.
Eminem Rawr.
Just know a couple of his tunes.
I haven't streamed in a long time. Sorry I've been away so long, guys. All right, let's refresh so we can see if anybody. Now I streamed for over an hour in my recap, and I had no trains. Terrible. Frankly. $4, Xenoid 1. Another train. It still says I have 0 viewers. That's pretty good.
Hey, let me ask you something.
They can hear you.
I know.
All right.
Why do you always say that?
Because you might, oh, that's right. Well, you might want to ask me something you don't want them to hear.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
you're streaming.
What?
When are you going to have time
Never.
to finalize the winners?
I'll have to do that today.
Or just people have asked.
I'll just do it today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometime today.
Yeah, I'll need the results of who you guys think won. Like, I need to know what games to look at. I need more info.
Can't you just click on the tournament?
I don't know how to click. I don't know who you kicked out.
I have a list of people that we've kicked out already.
Yeah, so send me that
Those
list.
weren't winners because they got kicked from live chess. So the winners,
But it'll be listed as them winning, I think.
I can give you the list of people we kicked. I think they
Yeah.
got kicked.
We'll have to do it together, what I'm going to do. You'll have to be with me, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not even sure how to go look at the tournament. I never looked at the tournament from yesterday.
You can do it from your club. You can look at the live
Yeah,
tournament.
we'll have to do it together, and then, yeah. I can do the game analysis.
I just need to know what to tell
Probably you're going to win, because if I ban everybody, then,
you. I didn't
yeah.
win.
Yeah. Yay, we have more than 0 viewers. Yeah. Okay, so the round starts in 5 minutes. Chess.com already put the games up. As you all know, Geary is playing Magnus, and MVL is playing Faruja. MVL and Faruja, the battle for Paris. Rawr. Also, etc. It's funny, I used to jokingly say who's the highest rated player in Paris, and it was Kramnik, but now I guess it's MVL. So. Etc. 100 viewers. Hooray. We're the best viewers. Sometimes when you have a round robin and somebody loses all their games and somebody wins all their games, then they play each other, there's huge upsets because, they're all the same strength. However, since this is game in 15 and it's 4 games, I don't see that today. So, in theory, MVL and Magnus win handily, and I don't see any reason that wouldn't happen. Yeah, so there you go. It looks like Naka's pretty clear second, and I think Carlsen's in third. Caruana's in third. Stop having your name start with CAR. I'm confusing you guys. So, pretty reasonable to assume right now Carlsen, Naka, Caruana, and Ding will be the final 4. However, especially if MVL gets upset and loses Dali Reza, that's almost a guarantee then. So I think Nepomniachtchi's not going to make it. So I think Ding, Caruana, and MVL are fighting for 2 places. And I think Hikaru and Magnus are pretty solidly in there. Nepomniachtchi probably has to win his next 3 matches to get in the top 4. Probably not going to do that. So, truth hurts. Yeah. Hello. Now, yesterday we got a lot of cash because I made a bar to get some money. Usually you guys don't donate very much. You guys like to sub and cheer. So we get a lot of that. And we don't get a lot of da-da-da-da, which is the actual money. I'm hoping we get a lot of subs the next few days because we're losing a lot of subs. And when you lose a lot of subs, you don't have a lot of subs, then you guys watch a lot of commercials. Then you guys complain about it. Now, if you don't want to watch a lot of commercials, you can sub. Since you're not subbing, that means people should gift you subs, so you stop complaining. So if you give 10 or 20 subs like some of you do, this is a good time to do it because we're losing a lot of subs. And that way I don't have to do all the complaining. Why are there so many commercials? I'm not in charge of the commercials. I'm the pretty face. Okay, the talent is Karen and Trying to Learn. They're the ones who decide the technical issues of the stream. Okay, so if you have any questions, exclam questions, ask Karen, and she'll delete it. And everybody's happy. Right, let's get that scam train. Code Cow did donate $50. That is correct. So we have 1,700 subscribers right now. About a week ago, we had 1,800. Man, the truth hurts. Yeah, harsh. I got welfare Tuesday. I will spend my whole check on subs. Yeah, but you're going to eat those subs. I'm talking about subscribers. Come on. Exactly. Let's see what Karen put up here. Carlsen, Geary, MVL, Ferrugia. Code Cow gave 10 subs. Now, he already gave Fit the bucks, and now he did it again. Yay. Now we have 1,710 subs. Now we're talking. Yay, Code Cow. Are those subs vegan? Possibly. What is your monthly income from Twitch? What are you, my mother? All right. WT Hidden Gift gave 5 subs. Man, that trick worked. By the way, I was looking at, what was I looking at? Something's happening on chess.com in the next couple of weeks. And anyway, I don't know what it was. It said it started at 9 a.m. PST. This was a big thing on Twitter. It doesn't start PST. Boo. It might start PDT, but it doesn't start PST. All right, because of all your great donations, we're already on level 4 of the train. So if you donate 100 centidues or more in the next 5 minutes, you'll get one of these trains. You know, one of the emotes. It's the scam train. Hooray. Let's see. This is my new favorite emote. Hey, you put the emote back. Mm-hmm. It's back. All Talk and a Badge is back. We haven't had this emote in about a year. All Talk and a Badge. Although I don't see... Oh, here they are. So these are the players that are playing today. You didn't take away the other players who aren't playing today. I see them. I can click them. Okay. MVL, Ferrugia, Ding, and Magnus. So it's funny, when I click on them, the four faces, I've done it twice, and instead of having the picture of Ding, it just says GM Ben J Ding.
That's because that's not there anymore. You just need to refresh.
Oh, actually, Ding's not playing today. Oh, I clicked on Ding because I thought he was playing. So it's MVL, Ferrugia, Geary, and Carlsen. Those are the 4 players. Yeah. No, that was my fault. I thought Ding was playing, and he's not playing, so you did get rid of him. Yay! Near Exog gave a sub. Good, good. Level 5 of the train. All right. Scam train's going, All Talk and a Badge, everything. All right. Does anybody in the chat, think Ferrugia's going to win the match against MVL? 200 centidues. Anybody? Who thinks Ferrugia's going to win the match? Man, we got a lot of no's. We got some yeses, just not too many. It's 20 to 80. 20% yes, Ferrugia wins. 80% MVL. Now, this shirt today is just our chess center, CCSCATL, established 2017, etc. So the more merch you buy, the more money we have. Ferrugia has a better chance than Geary. As Dave Chappelle would say, that is correct. All right, so the game should have started. Yeah, that's not good. Did they start and the chess.com doesn't have them? I don't know. It's after 10. It's way after 10. All right. I complain, so now the games are here. Guess I should complain more. All right, MVL played D4. Fallujah disconnected. MVL wins. Fallujah's the world champion of flagging. Karen says merch. Handicap items. Let's see. Can you dance? 99 centidues. Thanks, Dancing Tortoise. Keeps giving 99 centidues. Good, good. All right. So I'm the world's leading authority on this position. It's C5 in the QG in the Nimzo Indian. He'll take on C5. And then black could either take back, play knight A6, queen C7, or castles. Usually knight A6. Okay, he castled. Yeah. Now white can play A3, knight F3, bishop D2, play knight F3. This line is considered to give white nothing, and I know because I play white in this position. I'm very interested in this. Yeah, G3 takes, then bishop G2, knight E4, or B6. Very interesting for me. This is what I play with white all the time. And sometimes I transpose, sometimes they castle first. A3 is an unusual move. I like it. I've played it. Yeah. Danny Wrench played bishop c5 against me here when bishop takes is the only move. And then he got a worse position, but it was a draw. Yeah, this line is considered to give white nothing, but this is the line that I play. Go MVL. Play that line that I play that gives white nothing. Yay. 400 centidues, 200 centidues, Heiser Heinz. That's pretty good. Usually the first train of my stream is like stops at level 1, and then it says I have good support. But this is better. All right, back to whatever it is here. Geary's white against Magnus. This is a Catalan. Bishop b4, a5. Now, if I remember correctly, this is what Geary did in the Catalan when he was black. So a3. So Geary actually plays this with black. So a3 is, I guess, a move that he knows about that nobody else knows about. That's an unusual move. Sort of losing a tempo. 577, 500, 100. Yay! We made it to the end of level 5. Such strong support. Very good support. 16 subs, 2,000 bits. 16 subs is a lot in a train. All right, so Magnus is thinking forever because this is such a weird move. So weakening the white squares. Obviously his prep. And he takes this, takes this. Okay. I've had white in this position before. This is nothing for white. And normally I don't play A3, I play G3 there, which is better. And MVL's thinking here, so I don't know. MVL doesn't know the position? I mean, probably he doesn't. Yeah, so Ali Rez is already outplaying MVL and the game just started. Man, truth hurts. Yeah, Queen C2 Nimbus I've been playing my whole life. I know the ins and outs of a lot of variations. This variation doesn't give white very much, and MVL's not playing it the right way. So I'm not a big fan of A3. All right, so black's going to control this. Black can play for D5 and keep pushing. More likely B6, bishop B7, rook C8. This pawn's very weak on C4. That's the main issue that white has in this opening is after rook C8. This is annoying. And white's losing a lot of tempi by moving a lot of pawns. Bishop G5. Yeah, white's fighting for equality and then some. Yeah, either knight move is probably better for black. Terrible. Frankly. Yeah, with this pawn here, we actually can do this because we have knight b3. He won't do that. He'll probably play this knight to e4. Yeah, this is very bad preparation for MVL. He's got to learn this opening better. All right. And after a3, he retreated to d6, which is fine. And then queen a4 check, getting his pawn back. White plays for the slightest of advantages. And then some. So this game is a little bit better for white because it's a Catalan. And the other game is a little bit better for black because MVL doesn't know what he's doing. Bishop d7, bishop c6, just like in the Fort Knox in the French. 9.99. Thanks, SP Discus. Bishop is thwarting this bishop. This knight goes to d7. Actually, we see this kind of Catalan without these pawns being moved, with the pawns on a7 and a2. That's pretty similar. All right, so he played as expected. That should take f6. You can take with the knight or the queen. They're both equal. Yeah, I mean, after knight takes, white has nothing. Terrible. Also after queen takes. I'm guessing Firouzja plays knight takes. I think Firouzja wants the queens on more than MVL does. My opinion. So I'm expecting knight takes. Now, this sounds like a joke, and it is a joke. The engine says queen e8 is a move. Because you're forking this, then you take with the knight later. What? Queen e8. Queen e8 makes no sense. It just doesn't lose. It's the funny part. All right, took with the knight. That is correct. Now, we have to see if MVL is going to fiancado his bishop or just play bishop e2. Obviously, the bishop is better here, but that really weakens the c-pawn. See, he play e3, bishop e2, then your c-pawn's defended. And we have a half-open file here. You know, b6, bishop a6, queen c7, rook c8, d5. So g3 is riskier, but your bishop is better. e3 is safer, but there's no advantage. The engine slightly prefers black here. I agree. White's play is, I would say, shallow and pedantic. Do you agree?
I guess so.
So she says, yeah.
I'm working.
All right. And then this game is the boring world of Niels Bohr. Bishop g5, threatening to trade later. All right. The threat is stronger than the execution. Black has the two bishops, what else? Although not for long. See, the thing is, if black ever wants to play c5 or e5, he's not going to do it because you know that's one of the reasons for bishop g5 takes. You get rid of the knight on d7. He could take it with a queen, but then the queen's sort of silly out on f6. So Geary's slightly better. Magnus seems like he's happy with a draw with black, and he'll win with white, and he'll win 3-1. I think that's Magnus's plan this match, is to win both games with white and draw both games with black. Doesn't want to have an exhausting kind of day. And MVL did play g3. This is very risky because you're getting a nice bishop, but your c-pawn's really weak. So the engine already likes black quite a bit because this pawn is not good. There's good and there's not good. And the engine variation is one that I suggested. b6, bishop a6, rook c8. And it's very difficult to defend this pawn. So white should be slightly better, or black should be slightly better here at least. And white should be slightly better here. Rook e1 is a little strange, but all right, I guess he wants to play e4. So Magnus will play knight e4. And I'm guessing this will just be a boring draw. I think Geary's going to vacuum the board here and just draw the game. Obviously, Geary needs to win with white every game he possibly can because black against Magnus is no fun. But I guess he'll be happy to draw with white. I don't know. This move's pretty meek. Yeah, knight e4 is pretty equal now, I think. Okay, he played bishop b7, which is also okay, and rook c8. Bishop a6 is more aggressive, obviously, putting pressure on c4. This move sort of lets white off the hook and lets him equalize. Yeah, this is just absolutely nothing for white. And Magnus is also considering playing in Fort Knox style. Bishop takes f3 and then c6 and just, chill. But I think knight e4 makes more sense. Trade off these knights before you get to the opposite color bishop ending. So two pretty boring positions. Normally, when the top players in the world play, you predict a draw and you're probably going to be right. But now the games are looking pretty equal. Yeah. You bet your house on Ali Reza to win the match? Man, I don't know. God damn. That's probably not a good bet. Yeah. Geary doesn't want to win? Man, harsh. Can you explain the concept of a tempo? I don't know. Can I? I can't even explain Tempe because I've only been to Phoenix and, in the outskirts. I'm homeless. Why did you bet on Geary? That would do it. What happened here? Rook C7. Okay, he wants to play Queen A8 and Rook FC8. That's the plan. Get the diagonal going. Get this pressure going. Yeah, this is very bad preparation from MVL. Plays the same opening I do and knows it even worse. It's not even possible. Now, MVL is too good to not equalize here because he's MVL. But yeah, this game's going to be a draw. As is this game. These games are over. I'm taking a break. If I replaced Geary, there would be fewer draws. That's right. Can you explain Tampa? Man, nobody can explain Tampa. God damn. Tampa's the worst. Is Tampa where Naka lives? Is that right?
I don't know.
I think so.
I know it's Florida somewhere.
Yeah, I think he lives in Tampa. He might have moved. I don't know. You bet 3 sheep. I could tell you the Russian sheeplifting contest story, but then I would get banned from Twitch, so I won't tell you. All right, so he did something. Bishop D5. Bishop takes F3, and he'll play C6 next move, and both players will fall asleep. But still, I'd rather have white. I think he should have played knight E4. This seems like white has chances to be better. Yeah. I think Magnus would rather have white here. And after Rook C7, MVL thinks forever. I hate having white in these positions. I've had white in these positions. I hate it. This pawn's just perpetually weak. And then I don't usually lose because I draw my reputation, but still, this pawn's not very good. All right, so Geary's slightly better. Firouzja's slightly better. I predict 2 draws. And my children's children. Why would anyone live in Florida? Well, if you like hurricanes and 90 degrees and humid and lots of animals running in your house, then Florida is the place for you. Tampa is like putting a Waffle House in a Walmart. God damn. Which is more white trashy, Walmart or Waffle House? That's Waffle House. Close, though. I confused Karen. He's like, I don't know. It's Waffle House.
No, Waffle House is the best.
Waffle House is the best?
I
don't know well, wait a minute.
I hate Walmart.
I agree, but let me ask you a question about Waffle House. Mm-hmm. If you didn't have kids, how many times in the last 10 years would you go to Waffle House?
Well, let's look at before I had kids.
Yeah?
I went to Waffle House all the time.
Damn. Yeah, but maybe you didn't have as much money.
It's just a good place to go late night.
That's true. Would you ever go to Waffle House before 9 p.m.?
For breakfast, I would.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Without kids? Wow.
Yeah.
Man. Waffle House is good. What? You can't go to Waffle House while the sun is up or sober. It's the law. Yeah, I agree with that. White House isn't white trash. It's general trash. I thought Walmart was general trash. Cinco BH gifted us some. Good, good. I like that. It's a Waffle House inside of a Walmart. That's good. It's funny because these stores like Walmart, those monster stores, they do have like Subways in there and McDonald's. It's true. Walmart is lieutenant trash. Ooh, that's good. I thought Walmart was the best grocery store when I was young. Of course, I grew up in a trailer park in Las Vegas. Yeah.
I can't stand Walmart.
Yeah, Karen hates Walmart more than, I mean, she's right, but still. Okay, so Geary's playing the most passive way possible. Queen C2, Rook D1, Rook C1, E3. Man, that's some pretty boring play there. All right. Both sides are playing for a draw. Both sides will be successful. I mean, white's better. White has more space. But yeah, Magnus not going to lose this position. And let's see what's going on here. He didn't play. He didn't play the one I thought he would play. He played Queen E7. Queen E7 is probably better. Chess with Steve subscribed. Atlanta is the Waffle House of America. There is a lot of Waffle Houses in Atlanta. That's because Waffle House is the headquarters is around here. That's where it started. Yeah. When I lived in Michigan, and possibly now, there's no Waffle Houses. Zero. That could have changed, although it might not have changed. Let's see. Geary beats Magnus. Kim Jong-un is dead. I don't know. I think Kim Jong-un is still alive. Bam. The reopening of Georgia, yeah, whatever. It doesn't affect me. I go home and I come here and I go home. Occasionally I go to the car wash. Yeah. All right, what's going on here? Rook C7, Queen D2. You gotta get out of this. Problem with the move A3 is it's harder to play B3 because your pawn's not defended. So, but the engine just says it's a draw. It says knight E5 defends the pawn and puts pressure here and trades the bishops. But I'd still rather have black. This pawn's weaker than this pawn. And I'd rather have white here, although I don't think Geary's trying to win. Rook to C2. Man, Geary's playing the most passive, solid, boring way, and so's Magnus. So there you go. Yeah, these are like two really boring games. It'll change, like later games will be exciting, but not the E5. That's not a good move. E5's never a good move in this structure ever. But I guess he just can't stand the thought of drawing Geary. So he's like, he'll give Geary an advantage, and then Geary will fight for a win and lose. E5 is a very bad move. I don't know. Magnus is trolling him, I guess. I mean, here, black is really solid and very few losing chances, very few winning chances. And after D5, white's is better. That's not a good move. I've had black in these structures all the time, and whenever I play C5 or E5, it's wrong. You just got to sit there and wait like Kamsky does. Kamsky has black in these structures all the time. He never does anything. He just chills. Yeah, E5's bad. Boo, boo. Geary's the favorite. Yeah. That's a very confusing move because it's so bad. No. Come on, Geary. D takes E5. Typical Geary. All right, Geary playing for the draw. He refuses to be better. King Jong-un is dead, and so is the doctor that operated on him. Man, it's harsh. Very suspicious. No, taking is just Geary playing for a draw. That's just nonsensical. Geary just doesn't want to win. I'd still take white here, but okay. I mean, D5 is the way you get an advantage, not taking. Man, he knows his Geary pretty well. They should be mad at the other broadcast if they have Grishuk or Svidler. They should be madder than I am. Those guys are better than me. All right, he played bishop takes F3. That's not what I would have played. I don't like that move. Okay, and he correctly... See, he thought bishop takes rook here and he'll win a pawn because then white can't play knight c5. That's correct. And I just takes with the pawn, always play bishop f1, and then plays f4. I'd rather have white now. It's equal, but I'd rather have white. The other position, it was equal. I'd rather have black. The bishop takes isn't a good move. After f4, then white can try to advance on the queen side, and black doesn't have any prospects. It's still equal, but now white's fine. Black, once he plays bishop f1, it's no problem. Couldn't play b3 because the a-pawn's hanging, and now there's no... Yeah, bishop takes f3 was not... That's not a way to get an advantage. Very bad. Okay, rook c3. He's either going to double rooks here and try to push, or he's going to double triple on the D file, which doesn't seem like it has any. That doesn't seem to work because the knight can't be dislodged. So I guess he just wants to go here. I mean, this is pretty equal position, but I would take white now. White doesn't have any problem anymore. All right, and Geary doesn't want to win, so he's making sure it's a draw. Knight e4 is a ridiculous move. This move makes no sense. That move just says I want to draw. I mean, if he wants to win, this knight can't go anywhere. That knight's defending d7. No, that's silly. Yeah. I mean, it's funny how white is just slightly better with no losing chances, and he's just obviously playing for a draw. It's just weird. I mean, you can't play for a draw with white. It's game 15. He's got to beat Magnus with white. Terrible. I guess Geary does have a chance to win this match without winning. He can try to draw all 4 games and get black in the Armageddon. But I mean, it is Magnus's site, so probably Magnus gets, the coin flip works in his favor somehow. If Geary has black in the Armageddon, that'll be tough for Magnus. Yeah. All right, so it's the 2 most boring games ever. And Ali Reza made it more boring. All right, and if you take on c3, I play the d6 Wischenzug, which is still equal, but he did this. Bishop d3 is a strange move. It's all right. It's defending c2, so the rook and queen can't infiltrate. All right, and white's slightly better here. The bishop's better than the knight. We can play bishop e4 later. White can play for an attack on the king's side. The D file is more valuable than the C file. That would take like an hour to explain to you guys. But there's no infiltration squares here, and you want the open file that's closest to the king. Those are secrets I'm not supposed to tell you guys. Shh. Pretend you don't know that. So white's like, you'd rather have white, but it doesn't matter. This is a draw. Yeah, this is, bishop takes f3 wasn't good. All right, and both players are playing for a draw, and they're getting it. All right, and they will agree to a draw next move when it's move 40. This is move 39. Now Magnus will make a move and the game will end. All right, and then they'll say half-half next to their names because they're legally allowed to agree to a draw. Or they could repeat like this, so that it's a repetition draw. Okay, draw. Man, I never saw both players play for a draw. That was something. All right. Very strange game. All right. And then this is also should be a draw, but both players will probably play for a win. So if they both want to draw, they can play bishop here, knight here now and repeat. Good. MVL with a huge threat. God damn. Rook d8. Go MVL. It's unstoppable except for the 12 moves that stop it. This is easily the most boring, first game each of the tournament. Both games are like all zeros the whole game. None of the 4 players wants to win. Terrible. I think they were just up all night watching Carissa beat Dina Polito. That's probably what it was. You can't really blame, and then they're like they can't wake up. Yeah. Lazy draw Sunday. Yeah. Why does Ben never care about raids? It's a raid. Hans Niemann raided me. I didn't notice. I was too busy saying every game was a draw. Go Hans Niemann, but stay there. Raid. I always announce all the raids. Why do you say I don't care about raids? Should I ban you and your children's children? Probably. Yeah. Frankly, terrible.
Did it just happen?
About a minute ago. Yeah. Why not bishop takes f6? Bishop takes f6, exclam. Bishops don't move like knights, otherwise you'd be correct. Okay, he played rook d7. That's right. Ban me you won't. What are you, Yoda over there? Can I please ban someone? Still mad about my tournament results. That's a Karen question. 882 viewer dues, seeing the two most boring games. All right, the engine wants to take the rook and then take on g6. And it says white's better. Wow, white's better down a piece? Maybe. Black's king is pretty exposed. He is winning all of these pawns, and then this pawn's weak, and this pawn's weak. The king is safe. Oh man, if he does that, there will be fireworks. It's still equal, but there's fireworks. So will he play rook takes, knight takes, bishop takes, g6? The answer is fries. It still says it's a draw, but that's an exciting draw. I hope he does that. If he doesn't do that, it's not going to be exciting. Yeah, it still says all zeros. Yeah, MVL does that kind of stuff. I agree. Go MVL, sack all your pieces for nothing. Do it. After rook c1, black plays queen e7, and then rook c8, rook d8, draw. That could also happen. He's spending a lot of time thinking about the bishop sack. That's why he isn't moving here. If he plays rook c1, it'll be a draw. Yes, he's going to do it. Yes. Go MVL. Gotcha, bitches. Yeah, I knew he would do it once he traded the rooks. Yay. All right, it's still a draw, but, all three results are possible. This is much more interesting than what was happening. Yay. Will he be rewarded for bravery or, it's sort of like the Sunny episode where the piano's going to fall on Mac, and then Danny DeVito shouts out a slur and saves his life, and they have to go to arbitration. Will he be rewarded or will he be punished? We'll find out. Go, Sunny. All right, so the engine says it's equal. This reminds me of a funny situation. There was a game between Salov and Sarawan. And they got to, in analysis, they got to like rook and 4 against rook, knight, and 1. And they were both claiming they were playing for a win. Like the engine would say all zeros, but they both said their side was better. So that would be like this. They would be like, black's trying to win because I'm up a knight. And then white would say, I'm trying to win because I have 4 passed pawns. And the engine says it's a draw. So, all right, so he centralized his queen, defending his knight, putting pressure here, keeping his queen in the middle. Queen h6 check, forking these two, although I gotta watch it here. And he blocked with a queen. Queen takes h5. He'll play queen takes b2. And the engine still says this is a draw, but both sides could win. Because, 4 passed pawns is 4 passed pawns. Although a knight is a knight, so I don't know. Hooray, the game's interesting again. Show Carlsen's game? Well, that game ended. I guess the new game might have started. Let's see. No, I don't see the new game yet. Carlsen's game didn't start yet, right? I don't have it. Carlsen's game ended a long time ago. It was a really boring draw. Yeah. Yeah, they haven't started yet. I can't show the game because there's no game. Sorry. All right, queen f5 check. All right, so is white going to check forever and try to draw? Or is white going to get 4 queens? Rawr. Would you take white or black here? I mean, I'd take white, but I would think I'm making a bad decision. Because I have more chances for perpetual if things go wrong. Like, if somebody does something wrong and the other side gets the advantage, then I want to have white, because then my king is safe and this king's running around. And probably it's harder to play black because, white can just try to queen. So, yeah. But basically the engine's just, moving. Now, one of the engine lines in my engine, these queens get traded and both sides try to win and it's still a draw. That's exciting. All right. So he played h5. I mean, anything could happen here. Any result happening here wouldn't surprise me. A win for either side or a draw. Yeah. But of course, the engine says all zeros. Go MVL and or Fallujah. I mean, obviously, if you look at the ratings of the players, with MVL being 400 points higher, he's going to play for the win. The fake ratings. Knife F6. Matt Larson suggests G4. It still says everything's all zeros. One thing that could happen in the next 10 moves is black takes this, white plays h7, black takes it, and now we have the 3 pass pawns to 2, although these are doubled. So you would expect that would be a draw too. Black's pushing his passed pawns. So that could happen, that we take this, and then both sides try to queen, which ends up with their kings being exposed. So also probably a draw. It could go from 0 to plus 60 in one move. Rawr. Ifan is watching from the wall. Correct. MVL will fold like a French crepe. Man, I spelled crepe wrong, but that was good. Queen G5, pinning the knight. No matter what move is made, after thinking for 5 seconds, the engine says every move is all zeros. No matter what moves they make in any position. Very suspicious. Queen takes a3, h6. h6 is correct. Yay, 6 passed pawns, confusing the audience. Let's see, has the other game started yet? They're going to start soon. All right. Magnus is white the next game. They'll start soon. Takes here. Queen d3. Queen g7 check. King e6. Queen takes a7. All right. This game's going to be a draw because he's going to take this. He's going to take this. And the king goes here. All right, that's just a draw. All right. The players have already acquiesced to the draw. The game's still going, but now it's a draw. Yeah. Black's going to take these 2 pawns, and white takes these 2 pawns, and it's a dead draw. All right. Nobody's going to win this game, etc. A draw was fair. They pretended it was exciting. All right. Magnus is playing Geary, and Geary resigned. No, not yet. Not yet. Will it be bishop e7 or bishop b4? The answer is fries. Bishop b4 was played. Takes. Bishop f4. That's what they've been playing this tournament. Takes and bishop f4. I've been seeing that a lot this tournament. I got to start doing that. Do they agree to a draw yet? Not yet. All right. Takes here. Yeah, here I wouldn't care if I was white or black. I can't imagine it not being a draw. I don't see how either side ever wins in any position ever. So, doesn't matter what color I am here. All right. Geary's playing super sharp. G5. Rawr. So knight c6, knight d2. If I remember correctly, this is from the first day of the tournament, Carlsen versus Ali Reza. This is a game Magnus won, but black had a fine opening. And they're repeating that. This is still the same game. This is the game Magnus versus Ali Reza from round 1. It still is. Okay, and then I remember, I don't know if Black castled here or played Bishop D6 or the other game, that one of the moves was Rook G1, and he played Rook G1. I think it was castles. I think it went castles, and Magnus played F4 maybe, and it said Rook G1 was a move with the idea of stopping F4. And I said, Magnus isn't going to play that. And then he played F4, although he played it after Bishop to D6. So that makes less sense to me. So the idea is, okay, and Geary doesn't know, this is a prepared improvement for Magnus, although the engine doesn't like it very much. But let me show you the idea. Is Magnus is going to sack a piece, play E3, and if the bishop moves to a safe square, let's say here, now this rook is good, because now the queen and the rook are attacking. And the engine says that white's just winning here. Here, rook G7. It says white's just winning, because king is ridiculous. So after E3, the engine wants to play queen E7, and very, very complicated position. Here, takes. So Magnus is sacking a piece for good compensation. I'm sure he's analyzed it with an engine, because he played rook G1 as his improvement, and Geary doesn't know rook G1, so Geary's going to think forever. Probably doesn't have to play F4. That was the point of Bishop D6, but I still find this move to be very strange. So there we go. Rook G1 thinks forever. And this game ended in a draw because it's ridiculously drawn. The game ended here, check here, and draw. Okay. So that's the end of that game. That's the way the news goes. And there's the next game. We can get rid of this. All right. And Ali Rouge is white against MVL. In game 1, both games were drawn. In game 2, Magnus played his prepared Rook G1 from his first round match with Ali Reza. And Ali Reza MVL game 2 will start in about 4 minutes, I guess. Rook G1 was one of the engine's suggestions if black had castled. I think Ali Reza castled, not Bishop D6. And I was like, yeah, Magnus isn't going to play that. And then Magnus played it when it made less sense. But Magnus has looked at the position since with an engine and whoever his coaches are. But yeah, the engine's not impressed with Rook G1. But if Magnus has analyzed Rook G1 with an engine and a coach, and Geary's like, what's Rook G1? That's, doesn't hurt. So there you go. Also, there's some kind of bluffing value. I mean, if Geary thinks F4 is good and the piece sack is unsound, he knows that Magnus has looked at it. So it could be a forced win for white. And Magnus has a computer analysis. So it's a psychological game. I've never been so confused. Red Sweetie? Karen smiled. What you doing? Buying shoes?
I'm revising the mainly etc. emote.
Ooh.
I don't like those colors.
Mainly, etc. The engine wouldn't be impressed. It's true. All right, so we're having the longest think ever in a 15-minute game. Yay. And this game hasn't started yet, but Farouja's slightly better. Slightly. 1,000 viewer dues. Hooray. This guy said Geary should be waiting tables at a high-end restaurant. He does look like that sometimes, yeah? Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, I would say that.
Maybe he does that in his spare time.
Good description.
What's that?
That's a good description.
Yeah. I mean, this is a rather long thing for a 15-minute game. Geary doesn't have to play F4. F4 walks into his opponent's hands, but it might be the best move. Isn't G bus... Did you spell just and made 7 errors? Isn't this just lost for white? No. My engine at depth 24 says 0.4 for black. And that's when he's up a piece. So, yeah. Chess with Steve with all the emotes. Geary should draw pairings. How was the tournament yesterday? Lots of cheating? There was a modicum of cheating. Probably we're going to kick out between 5 and 15 people, and we had 300. That's only a little bit. Yeah. Who was that woman in the pictures on Ben's wall? That's two different women. So I can't tell you who the woman is. There's two of them. There's Ju Wen-jun, and there's Yifan. Yifan's the highest rated woman in the world, who's active, not too active, and Ju Wen-jun is the women's world champion. How much do you charge to play chess at a wedding? How much you got? I don't know, 10,000, I guess. Blah, blah, blah. Pictures. Thanks for answering. Will betting be offered on the officially determined amount of cheating in future events? That is a good question, Mark. Maybe. I mean, question, comma, Mark. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. 5% cheating is not bad. Yeah. Ben is a cheater. Only 2% to 5% cheated. All right. Good chat. Now, is Geary really thinking 10 minutes at a 15-minute game? Probably not a good use of his time. Man. The last time Geary thought forever, he played knight c3 against Ding Liren, and that was terrible. That was the game that he lost. So I don't know. Can you become a GM just by drawing? I guess so. Do you know how Arjun is doing? Obviously not. Do you think Nakapuki can win the tournament? I mean, he could. I can win the tournament, but I'm not going to. Tombstone poster. Geary's been thinking 7.5 minutes, and he castled. That's like the number 5 engine move, castles. A move that Carlsen won't have analyzed because it's not one of the top engine moves. H4 is the best move now. Putting in an H. Recommended by Ginger GM. Yeah. That's right. If you donate a lot to the stream, you will become a GM eventually. Yeah. All right. And they haven't started the second game yet. How come they wouldn't start the second game yet? If he thought 7.5 minutes on that move. All right. I don't know. Maybe they did start it. Maybe. I don't know. If they start the second game, I don't have any moves, let me know. And the Fallujah game, and I'll do something. Yeah. All the Wong moves. All right. He hasn't analyzed castles in his Rook G1 prep because that wasn't one of the top 4 engine moves. So now he's like, what? Say, what? Yeah, I assume he'll play either H4 or knight F3. Let's see. Roadhouse was a good movie? Not sure if good was the right word you were looking for. What do you think about starting chess seriously? I never thought of it. Seal a move and resume on the next day? That makes sense. 100 centidues. Thanks, Sir Blunder, a lot. I like big donations, and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Patrick Swayze, Kung Pao, stand under the UV lighting, bleach, exactly. All right, so Magnus isn't going to move. Is this game really hasn't started yet? Really? Let's see if I click on it again. Does that help? No. All right. Man, they're taking a big break. Fallujah, maybe Fallujah can't get it back online. Bam! Also, maybe Fallujah's playing at MVL's house. I don't know. They both in Paris? Is Magnus going to think 7.5 minutes now? What's going on here? This is a game 15? What tournament am I watching? What's funny is, Mark, if I believe, could be wrong, that when they got this position against Ali Reza did castle, and Magnus played F4, I think, and Rick G1 was one of the engine moves, which I thought was ridiculous, but he played it anyway. Transposing, sort of. Mainly, sort of. Let's see. Terrible chat as usual. Did Geary play 0-0 because that resembles the 0.0 evaluation? Yes. That's exactly why he played it. H4. If Magnus didn't exist, Anand would have been world champion the same amount of time, I guess, because he would have lost to whoever played him that match. Would be my guess. The only person who would definitely be world champion a lot longer if the person who beat him never was born is Karpov. Karpov would have been world champion for like 70 years, but Kasparov kept beating and drawing him. T-square 52. Now, I won't call you T-square, but I'll call you T-bone. Oh, we already have a T-bone here? All right, you're not T-bone. You're Coco the gorilla. Right? Karen agrees. What show was I referencing there? T-bone, Coco the gorilla, Seinfeld. George wanted to be called T-bone, but this other guy was. So George started yelling at him. He says, he looks like a gorilla. We're going to call you Coco the gorilla. Then he brought a woman in he knew whose like grandmother's name was Coco, so they wouldn't call him Coco. He didn't like that name.
I don't remember that.
Complicated episode, yeah. What about Capablanca? What about him? The jerk still crawled. They're running out of you. My gammy, that's right. Nobody cares about your gammy. H4. All right, now Geary's thinking forever. Is this like 40 moves in 2 hours? What's happening here? And why isn't this game started? Did the other game start and I don't have any moves? Somebody tell me. Somebody go to some other website we can't mention and tell me if the game started. How could Fallujah MVL hasn't started yet? What world am I living in? What? Not started. What? Why are they taking like a half-hour break, Fallujah and MVL? If Fallujah can't get on the internet again? What's going on here? Are they talking about it in the commentary that Fallujah can't get on? There's no way this is right. I mean, this game's like half over. Setting up the new board. MVL. Damn, harsh. What's the score? Both matches have a draw each, and this is game 2. Why can't you mention? Of course I gotta mention their website. I'm kidding. Do you prefer Seinfeld or Curb? I don't know. They're both good. I like watching them both. Look at George is giving it to T-Bone. That's right. Ali Reza claimed he did not have a coach at Tata. That is correct. Let's see. The guy said, Farouch's dad told him that's enough internet for today.
I made that same joke yesterday.
Oh, you did?
I did.
That's a great joke. I don't remember you making that joke. I would have laughed.
I made the exact same joke.
That's a great joke.
Except I said, Mom has said he has too much screen time already.
That's a good joke. All right, so I guess Geary had enough drawing today. He decided to lose. F4, frankly terrible. And then this is forced, and this is forced. And I don't like it. I don't like castling and then pushing all my pawns in front of my king. All right, so I guess Magnus going to keep his king here this game since there's a million pieces near it. And supposedly C4 is a good move. I mean, it's explosive. I don't know if it's good. There's something wrong in the Ali Reza game, like that they haven't started yet. That means there's an issue. There's no way this is right. So I'm assuming since it's always Ali Reza, that it's his, there's some chess, Yeah. Mm. It's past Ali Rez's bedtime. Let's see. What is it? It's like 4 in the afternoon in France. What? Ali Reza isn't showing up. Not even sitting in his chair. What? Was that 2 jokes in a row by different people, or you guys are serious? 2 people in the chat back to back said Ali Reza's not in his chair. Like they have the video and he's not there.
He just has a bowel issue.
What? MVL said married, obviously. The engine's taking too long to boot up. I wonder what's actually happening. It's not started, and Jan says, who cares? That sounds like Jan. Farouche is chasing girls. Man, tough. Farouche is a true French now and resigned. He was kidnapped by the Iranian government. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, that dial-up isn't as good as it used to be. I've never seen guys rush to move 12 and then move 13 to 15. They never move. This is a 50-minute game. Now, this is how you would play a slow game, is you would never move once you're out of your prep. But these guys are never moving out of their prep, and it's game 15. So that means like on move 18, they're both going to have 2 minutes left and play 40 moves in 1 minute. Man, harsh. Ali Reza's DSL. No, I think Ali Reza has the dial up. So that's the problem. Yeah. Well, Rook G1 is his prep. And then after castles, he was out of his prep. And he played 2 correct moves, H4 and GF4. So the third correct move is C4. Now, knight F3 is an obvious move also, since the pawn is pinned. Then the knight has E5 and G5. So that also looks very reasonable. So C4 looks good. Knight here looks good. Queen B3 is another engine move because it has a threat. Yeah, this position is just bad for black. I don't, the king is exposed. Terrible. The only thing worse than black's position is Ali Reza's internet connection. Reset his password. Dial up. I used to give lessons to a guy in Michigan. I go to his house, and he had dial up, and he was trying to download like the Weekend Chess, and I'm much more upset than I used to be. Blah, blah, blah. Reasonable internet. This looks like Morphe Doofus. I don't know what's stranger. Fallujah can't get his internet to work any day, or neither player in this game ever moves ever. Hey, Fallujah must have made a move. Hooray! They played moves. Okay, MVL plays this terrible line again. Good, good. All right. MVL's in love with this line that's not good. Truth hurts. I love you, you love me. This is the worst variation in history. Entitled millennials don't know what dial-up is. That is correct. Yeah, this is the variation where black intentionally gives up the 2 bishops for no reason and is worse. Sounds like something I would do. Rook Crusher subscribe. Good, good. That's F3, not F6. All right, what's happening here? Whoa, Rook B5. Mother of a... Okay, Rook B5, which is an incredibly ridiculous move. A terrible move. This is an idea that white sometimes plays in the Petrov. Similar circumstances, but not these circumstances. Yeah. That's like the worst move on the board. Yeah. Queen B3 was better. C4 was better. Knight F3 was better. Yeah, knight E7's good. Then we have F5. We have G6. We have C6. This move doesn't make any sense. I got nothing. F5, that's a terrible move. What's going on? Why is Magnus playing so bad? Wow. So Magnus is putting pressure here, here, and here. So he's hoping, he's going to do something. And it's just, these moves aren't really, this is just terrible. Yeah. Frankly, ridiculous. It's funny, a lot of times in this particular event, but in chess in general, when the Super GM thinks forever, that's because they're confused. If they weren't confused, they would play fast like Nepomniachtchi, who also is confused. And then they make bad moves. So the engine says Rook B5 terrible, F5 terrible. Now, if Magnus didn't like C4, which is fine, I don't know why he didn't go here. Why wouldn't you like that? What's wrong with him? Yeah, so this is a nonsensical. G3 should give black the advantage because it keeps the G file closed. C6 is okay. Taking here is okay. Yeah, this is terrible. I don't know what to tell you. Terrible. All right. So bishop D2, rook C1, takes. This line is terrible for black. What's funny is MVL likes it, keeps playing it. So white has two bishops. White has a better center. White has a lead in development. I don't know why he likes black. All right, because he keeps doing it. MVL keeps playing this bad line. Back to the Grunfeld, dude. Let's see. Magnus is drunk? Maybe. It's pretty early to be drunk. It's Dimebag. Now, Dimebag, you showed up late, so your punishment is to donate 10 subs. It's good punishment, right? Yeah. If you showed up really late, then it's 20 subs. If you showed up super late, then it would be Adam Wallace, which is many more subs. All right, so Magnus is playing very strange. Rook G1, Rook B5, F5. God damn. Not very Magnus-like at all. If Magnus loses with white, that would against Geary, that would be the strangest thing that's happened in 2020. Agreed?
No.
Damn. Kobe. Magnus has 8 minutes. Geary has 2.5. Karen with the emote spoilers. Emperor of Ice Cream is gifting a sub. Good. All right, what's going on here? Castles is good. Yeah, this is a bad line for black. I would definitely have black here. I've had black in these positions my whole life. They're bad. If you want to see a good example of black getting crushed in similar structure, look at the game Chandra Feingold, St. Louis 2017. God damn, I got crushed. Horrible. All right, now what happened? H5. Okay, that's legal. Not very good. All right, both sides playing badly, living up to their names or whatever. Now, what's good about F5, other than it threatened the G4 pawn, was it unleashed the bishop, which heretofore was trapped. So the bishop can move, this pawn can move, and white's position can start to look normal, although it's not too normal. By the way, this is a serious point I'd like to make. Doesn't this look like a scholastic game with kids who just can't play? That, rook B5, rook G1, H5, G4, right? This is like two kids who don't know how to play playing each other. No, Kangaroo put that game where I got totally crushed. No, stop doing that. No, horrible. Terrible. All right. Blah, blah, blah. The kings are still on the board. What does scholastic even mean? Good. Yeah. The important thing is not only are most of the moves in this game not very good, but the players are thinking forever. So that's good understanding of the situation. And MVL's thinking forever here. This is your prep, dude. You prep these bad positions. Now you got to play them. Yeah, it's just bad for black. If only Shanklin was here to agree with me. It's the only time he agrees with me. Ben's been going 2 hours and 36 minutes. Mubot is putting my 2 streams together. Mubot says I've been going 2 hours and 36 minutes.
Yeah.
That's when I started my first stream today.
Oh, that's smart enough to.
In fact, not only that, I don't even think, is that right? Yeah, it's taking my 2 streams and saying that's how long I've been going. All right. Good. Go Mubot. Because I've been streaming like, an hour and 5 minutes. So Shanklin too angry. All right, here's some moves being made. All right, bishop g5, that's okay. Not good. c6 is okay. The engine prefers queen e8. I would play c6. That makes more sense to me. Yeah, I mean this isn't the highest level game of all time. Maybe it's the second highest level game of all time. Now, to be fair, it's a 15-minute game, and it's super tricky, so they're not going to play perfect. But, I think Magnus just wants to get a weird position and get Geary in time trouble and so forth. So he did that. He got Geary in time trouble, position's weird. So, all right. But, he's threw away most of his advantage. My stream's going nuts. Like the video, it's like doing this. It's great when it does that. Yeah, I wish you could watch this and see what's happening. It's just stuck on like me doing this. Yeah, it gets fixed, but yeah, it got stuck again. Here, it got stuck again. When it gets stuck, it's funny. Sometimes it goes totally insane. Usually when I refresh, it fixes it. But you see, what? Yeah.
No, mine does that sometimes.
No, mine's doing it every second, and sometimes the picture goes like this, where it's all lines. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what.
My PC just crashed. Is MVL French? The answer is fries. All right, I'm going to refresh the stream so it stops doing that. Just don't cross the streams. Okay, so he took with the rook. E4 is correct. Sacrificing the exchange is correct and forced. Yeah, because that bishop's pretty strong. That is correct. Man, what a weird game. The engine likes black, even though black's down the exchange, because this rook is silly, this rook is silly, this king is silly. And black has the 2 bishops. Now the engine changed its idea and says e5 is better for white. 1,000 centidues, dime bag. Good. Now it says equal. So black wants to take this. Black, after taking this, wants to play knight f4. Black wants to get his rook to e8. And white wonders why his rooks are so bad. So e5 is the natural move to me. c4 is also... The engine says these moves are similar, but I mean, c4 seems, with the king here, e5 seems better. All right. Always play bishop f8. Good job, Geary. I'm very confused, but the engine plays knight f3 here. I don't understand knight f3. Isn't there a pawn here? What? How come after knight f3 the engine doesn't take this? Well, this is my analysis. I'm getting confused here. Okay, I take, and you take, and white's better? Really? All right. It says that black shouldn't take because after it takes, white's killing it. That doesn't seem very human. What's funny is after knight f3, I can't move my knight anywhere. It just defends my g-pawn. All right. Knight f3 is an engine move, but to me, that's insane. So they're ridiculous. That's the most ridiculous, never in all my years. And I have a lot of years. All right, he didn't play knight f3 because nobody would. All right, so bishop f8, bishop d3, knight f4, knight f1, queen g5. These moves are all good. Ooh, f3 double question mark, losing all. What a blunder. Okay, come here. You know I say f3 and it's a joke and all that, and it's serious? He played f3 hanging all his pieces, Magnus. He lost in one move. He's going to lose. He's going to lose to Geary. Yeah. f3 hangs everything. It's the biggest blunder like Magnus has ever made. The knight takes d3, resigns. I mean, he just hung all his pieces. Knight takes d3, queen c1 check. Wins his rook. People in the chat are like, Magnus no way played f3. There's some typo. f3 is such a stupid move. Maybe it wasn't played, and it's a miss. It didn't happen. The PGN's wrong. I guess not. Knight take. Wow. Wow. He played f3 7 question marks. Magnus in this position. Wow. He just hung a rook. What? What's happening? Wow. Magnus hung a rook. What? Every move was check and a capture. What's happening? That's like the worst f3 I've ever seen. And that's the worst move Magnus has ever made. f3. I mean, I'm going to be all over Twitter today. It's going to be like my day on Twitter. I'll bet you Geary points it out. I guess Magnus isn't familiar with Ben Fine. He will. Yeah, because he knows. Yeah. Wow. What was that? What happened? I told you this was like two kids playing. Man. Well, I'd be making fun of Geary my whole life, but he will win this position. Yeah. Now, bishop f5 is correct. Yeah. Wow, he played, bishop h6, rook f8 resigns. Wow. f3, what a bad move. Position was about equal according to the engine before that. Another train. Yeah, he likes this endgame where he's up a bishop. Good endgame. Yeah. Okay, Magnus will resign now. I predict resigns. Wow. He played f3, missing knight takes and queen c1 check. By the way, there was a similar blunder, but worse, in Strapunski Onashuk U.S. Championship. I don't know what year it was. I'm sorry. It was between 2010 and 2013. On move 8 or 9 or 10, Strapunski made a move, and Onashuk played queen takes bishop on c1 check. And then Strapunski resigned. Wow, king h4 is pretty insulting. Not resigning is insulting here. Wow, I like that. All right. Bam. After queen d2, it says that he should trade queens. Yeah. This game was like two little kids playing. Like in a scholastic game. That's what it looked like. Except they wouldn't play as badly as Magnus with f3. You can make fun of Geary all you want, and I will, but Geary is going to win this game. It doesn't matter how much time he has. 100 centidues. Thank you. Wow. I mean, like, what? He played f3 here, allowing knight takes and queen check? What? Come on. Wow. That's unbelievable. I mean, wow. There's only one thing that we can say for sure. Magnus is the greatest player who ever, oh, wait a minute. Never mind. What? I like the way he's not resigning. This is getting pretty insulting. The black's up a bishop and 3 pawns. God damn. And the white rook isn't playing. So, yeah. All right, he resigned. What? What's happening? Magnus hung all his pieces? I gotta check Twitter. I don't care about the other game. All right, that was very strange. And Ali Rez is still better.
They're saying he stormed off.
Well, yeah. This is the maddest anybody's ever been ever, is how mad Magnus is now. Nobody's ever been that mad in their life about anything that's ever happened in history.
Anything on Twitter?
I'm still looking at this other. I'm checking. Yeah, this is just terrible for MVL. Yeah, this is White has two bishops and a better center. Yeah, this is terrible for Black. All right, what are they saying on Twitter? Breaking news: Geary beats Carlsen. Carissa chess wins. I got to put my never play F3 in there. Here we go, Mr. Dodgy. Terrible poker face by Magnus as he blundered a rook. I don't think the players can see each other. I don't think so. Some guy wrote, Geary, a 16-1 underdog against Magnus, just won a rook and might win with Black. Might win? Damn, harsh. The truth hurts. Might win. God damn. That's when you know the truth hurts. It's over. Geary wins, etc. Yeah, probably blundering a rook was bad. I mean, that's the worst thing that Magnus has ever done ever. Remember when he burned down that orphanage like 4 years ago? This is much worse. I mean, his smoking was an accident, but I mean, this is much worse. Only like 6 kids like perished in that, so it was okay, but man. All right, C5. And Firouzja's white. Should just play rook FD1 with advantage, but he traded everything Geary style. And now it's equal. Yeah, there was no reason to trade all the pieces off. All right, so Firouzja gave all of his advantage away. Probably they found out what happened in the other game and they just can't play anymore. Ginger GM said it's just a rook. Suspicious. Magnus losing on purpose. You know, when Ken Jennings, the Jeopardy guy, when he lost, there were thousands of people on the internet that said he lost on purpose on Jeopardy. Yeah, because they said, oh, he wouldn't lose, so he lost on purpose. He's too good to lose. That's what they're saying about Magnus. He lost on purpose.
That's absurd.
Right. I mean, everybody's an idiot. That's how Trump gets elected. We get like one dummy after another, and they're like, oh.
What would be the reason to lose on purpose?
Because he lost, so he can't lose, so he lost on purpose. Yeah, everybody's an idiot. Yeah. That's as much as they can think. A lot of people like fell in love, like people are in love with Magnus, right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of like Anand. Like the Indians love Anand. So if I say Anand's no good because he's 50, then all the Indians are like, he's the world champ. You can't talk about him like that. He's, God on earth. Same with Magnus. A lot of the Magnus people are like, you can't say anything negative about Magnus because he's Magnus. And Ken Jennings was like that. People watched to see him win.
Anand is good.
Right. No. But they watched Ken Jennings because he won. So when he lost, that like ruined their life. They're like, we can't watch Jeopardy anymore. We want to watch like Ken Jennings win. Yeah.
I'm defending Anand to my death.
Anand's, pretty good, but he's not like top 5 in the world, top 10 in the world anymore. He's good. It's much worse than when he was 30. All right. Good player still. Ken Jennings is the best. You can't talk about Ken Jennings. Yeah. Ken Jennings, yeah, they're complaining about Ken Jennings' opponent. It was very unlucky for him. Yeah. Yeah. Lawrence thinks Anish will win the match. He might. Might not. Yeah. Magnus downloads Poker Stars. Damn. Tiger Woods. Holmes is better than Watson. All right, this is good chat. All right, so in this position, Firouzja broke my never trade rule. Just any move is better for white. Rook here, queen, any move. And he traded everything. Trade everything. And now it's just equal. I mean, that same pawn structure. These bishops aren't the bishops we thought they were. These aren't the droids we're looking for. Yeah. Magnus is human. Incorrect. Oh, yeah, that's right. Again, this is the first part of the tournament. After the round robin is over, they take the top 4 players and they play matches. So Magnus is already going to be in the top 4, so he's not concerned. Hikaru's going to be in the top 4. Everyone else is unclear. Fallujah and Geary will not be in the top 4, but truth hurts. Michael Jordan is the greatest, and then it says Ken Jennings is the greatest, and Magnus is, everybody's the greatest. Man, you got to have a lot of room there for the greatest. Wow, he played F3. That's such a bad move. God damn. Jack Nicklaus is the greatest. Everybody's the greatest. How come the players aren't moving in this game? What's going on? Oh, this game started way after the other game. So these players have a lot of time probably. Yeah. Glenn Gould is the greatest. Interesting take. That's right. I don't have the F3 shirt today. Terrible. I like the way the worst move in the history of chess is Magnus playing F3. If I may, you guys can post it in the chat. Somebody give him permission. The worst move Fabiano Caruana ever made was F6 against Varakobian in the U.S. Championship. And Fabi was like completely winning, and then he was messing it up, and then he played F6 losing. I don't know if you guys remember that game. Go, Karen. Karen gifted a sub to Archer. Go, Karen. Karen's by merch gifting subs. Right. Find the game. Yeah, Rook Crusher knows what I'm talking about. Find the game Var beat Fabiano. There's only one of those games ever to happen in the history of chess. And the move F6 is the worst move ever. And now F3 is the worst move ever. God damn. Yeah, Kramnik blundering mate was funny because he thought he was winning. He got it from the board and then the computer mated him. That was funny. Yeah. Magnus didn't just lose. He got beat. God damn. Geary wins every day. Yeah. Anyway, find that game. Akobian, Caruana, U.S. Championship. I don't know, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I don't know. And he played F6, triple question mark losing. Like a 55-65 move game. Maybe more. 100 centidues. So the worst move Magnus ever made was F3 with white. The worst move Fabian was F6 with black. I have spoken. Kasparov's worst blunder? I don't know, not retiring earlier? Bam! Hey, can you send Magnus a never play F3 shirt?
No.
Yeah. Do it. All right, how's this boring game going? Rook C4. Bishop, always play Bishop F8. Good, good. Queen B7, E4, 2 bishops. Now, by the way, did you notice how in this position, every move, the Frenchman retreated? Bishop F8, Queen B7, Knight D7. See? Making fun of me, but I'm right. Everything I've ever said is right, no matter how much you guys laugh. Retreat like a Frenchman. All right. So he's retreating. He's playing Bishop F8. I can't speak more highly of his play. There's the game. Was that move 76? F6? In the 1E for 1E? 1-0, 1-1. Never play 76 F6. Frankly, terrible. All right, now, it's a very risky time in our lives because he just moved forward. Ooh, maybe he's preparing to move back. Go Faruja. Mr. Popezilla's posting. Everybody's posting stuff. What's going on? Never play F6. That is correct. Mr. Popezilla took the move F6 out of the game score. That was good.
Oh yeah, I looked at the Kobean game versus marijuana.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. I mean, black was really winning. Did you see what Magnus just did?
Oh yeah.
Usually Magnus doesn't hang all his pieces with check.
That's kind of move I made.
Not usually. God damn.
Except for I wouldn't play F3. But I would.
Ooh, he retreated. Good. Excellent.
I would place the order.
All right. So the engine said white was better. Now it says it's equal again. I'm getting a text from Chess24. Magnus has withdrawn from the tournament. Wow. So shocking. Shocking if true. Boros likes to put up polls, like you vote on Twitter. So his poll is, will Geary clinch the match? So he'll win the next game, the match is over. 50-50. Did anyone bet on Geary to beat Carlsen today? Geary 13, Carlsen 1.15. Good.
Go Geary.
I'm looking at the gif of Magnus when he blundered, and he's like barely upset. He like looks like this and shakes his head. Yeah, he's not as upset as you would expect. I expected a lot more gesticulation. Frankly, terrible. All right, how's this boring game going? Knight F6 is correct. Bishop D3 is correct, and it's all zeros. Knight G4 is correct. Wants to take this bishop and agree to a draw. If the bishop moves, then the queen could come in here. That could get interesting with the bishop coming in here. The king could get exposed. You got to watch it. The engine says trade everything and agree to a draw. Queen C4, Queen C2, trade queens, trade this, agree to a draw. If white wants to win, he could play bishop D4, but then after Queen C1, his king looks a little airy. With these pawns like this, there's a lot of ways to get to the king, so it's better to play safe here. Did they start yet? The other, let's see, Geary, Magnus. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready for Geary Magnus. Yeah, Magnus didn't look as mad as what I was expecting. You are nearing 1 million total views, a special scam event to celebrate. Yeah, they have this thing I don't understand. It tells you how many views you've had on your Twitch channel since you started it. It's a very irrelevant concept. Anyway, I have 984,000, so I'm going to get 1 million soon.
Where did you see that? Oh, I see it. No.
Yeah, next to 1169. Yeah. What's the definition of total views? Good question, Mark. Something that Twitch makes up, Does it matter if some are the same person? Nobody knows. In fact, I know I don't know. All right, so Farouja's like, all right, I guess I'll just draw. Yeah. It's risky for MVL not to draw, because if MVL moves his queen and bishop G1 is played, white just has 2 bishops. Yeah, okay, so they decided to draw. That was correct. Yeah. All right, and they'll get to move 40 and draw. All right, so we have 2 draws in this match, and Geary's up 1 against Carlsen. Yeah. And when both sides make their 40th move, they will agree to a draw. All right. And the game ended it. Okay, and they did agree to a draw. All right. So this game's over. White was better most of the game, and then he traded here incorrectly, and then he kept trading, and then it was a draw. So Ferrugia had an advantage throughout, and MVL was fortuitous to draw. That means lucky. What movie?
I was reading.
Fortuitous, that means lucky.
Yeah, what are you asking me?
What movie is that from?
Oh, I don't know.
And then the response is, yeah, I know what it means. Okay. Yeah, the guy got it. Tombstone. Very good.
Okay, I
Yeah.
haven't seen that. I should have guessed one of your 5.
Yeah, I like that.
I had a chance.
That's a funny scene. Yeah, she got him good there. All-time total views count, unique views daily, good ranking, channel age, and popularity. Oh boy. It sounds good. All right, it's between rounds. It's time to donate so much money that you regret it later. If you don't regret it, you didn't donate enough. Yeah, Karen agrees.
Yeah,
Yeah, Karen approved.
then we have another tournament.
We should have a weekly tournament like that. That was good. 300 people, etc. Yay, 100 cents to dues. Go, Dangerous Dave. I did that last week, so I can't do it now. No, you gave it the office. All right, did they put the next game up of the game that's not happening yet? Not yet. Oh, they did. Bam, they did do it. All right, all the games are up. None of them have started, but we're all broke. No one is working. Terrible. Does Karen ever disagree? Yeah. Like, Karen doesn't think all country music is bad. You know, she's allowed to be wrong. 501 cents to dues. What percentage of country music is terrible?
You know, I'm sure, 98.
There you go. All right, so we do agree. All right. Yeah. She says 98. All right, so we agree. I mean, for somebody who was brought up in Alabama to say 98% of country music is bad, and that's like worse than me. $4.99. Thanks, Daddy.
But the part that's good is just really good.
Well, I don't know about really good.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash is good.
Any better than Cash.
Yeah. This guy said, however, 99% of music is good. Is terrible. He said 90% is terrible. 0% country is great. 100 cents to dues.
I love Willie Nelson, Mr. Popezilla. What a soulful voice.
I'm not a huge fan, but I do like Willie Nelson, Juice Newton, Dwight Yoakam. Dwight Yoakam, I don't know his music. I just assume it's bad. I don't know it. However, he's a good actor. And I'm not kidding about that. Dwight Yoakam's a good
And he
actor.
was in that movie with.
He's in many movies. Right, he was in Sling Blade. He's very good in Sling Blade. He played a drunken, hillbilly, guitar playing, wife beaten, and I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he stretched it to that. And then he was very good in all those Jason Statham movies where Jason Statham keeps running around. Very strange movies. Jason Statham, if he sits still, he dies. So he keeps running around.
Yeah, no.
I don't understand why. They explain why in the movie. But Dwight Yoakam is his doctor, and he's always like doing drugs and has prostitutes over. He's the doctor. So whenever Jason Statham goes to the doctor, he's like telling his prostitutes and drug dealers to leave so he can talk to Jason Statham. So, yeah, Dwight Yoakam is great. Yeah.
I like that.
Those movies don't make any sense, but Dwight Yoakam is good. Yeah. Yeah, if you ever saw Sling Blade, he's the stepfather, boyfriend, drunken, hillbilly, country, guitar playing that he kills at the end with a sling blade. Yeah. Exactly. Dolly is yet to make a move and he's already better. Good. Yeah. Sling Blade's great. Yeah. Is Johnny See, the thing is, when country music is good, we don't call it country music because it's good. We just call it something else. See, Karen doesn't like both kinds of music, country and Western. What movie was I paraphrasing?
I'm gonna have to guess. Blazing Saddles.
No, Blues Brothers.
Okay.
What kind of music do you have here? Oh, we have both kinds, country and Western. That's what she said to the Blues Brothers. That was a great line. Yeah.
Johnny Cash, country, yeah.
You sure he's not Western? That's the Blues Brothers. The Blues Brothers. Shit. All right, none of the games have started. Frankly, terrible. Time to make the largest donations of your life. Bob's Country Bunker. Yep. Do you know every line of every movie? Not every line. Some of the lines that were cut from the script, I know those lines too, but those weren't in the movie. So, yeah. For example, in the movie True Romance, there's near the beginning of the movie, there's this scene where he goes to see the triple bill of the karate movies, and that woman's waiting for him because she was paid by his boss. Jack Black is actually supposed to be the box office guy, but his scene was cut. So Jack Black is actually supposed to be, that was his first movie, and his scene was cut. Terrible, frankly. Dwight Yoakam's in Panic Room? Excellent. Orange Whip? 3 Orange Whips. Who said that? Which actor? From Blues Brothers. Orange Whip? John Candy. He played a high-level police officer. That seems unlikely. John Candy?
I can see that.
You could? Yeah.
I gotta order some food.
I can't do the Sicilian monologue because I'll get banned from the earth. Yeah. Yeah, the Sicilian monologue is great. I watch that occasionally. Yeah. All right, Geary Magnus. Magnus has never been so mad. Magnus is so mad he's playing the Grunfeld. Magnus plays the Grunfeld? I don't think Magnus has ever played the Grunfeld. I don't know, maybe he has. I don't know. Is this game ever going to start? No? Okay. All right, so MVL Fallujah match has 2 draws. And as expected, Geary is ahead 1.5-half, winning with black. How are you following the game on chess.com? Go to live chess. Go to the binoculars that show you the highest rated games. And that's where they put them. So it's called events. If you're in live chess, you'll see a long menu items next to the H4 square and the events one, which is the binoculars. Magnus is playing the lines from the Karpov-Kasparov matches from 85, 87, etc., mainly etc. Right, this is the old school way of doing it. Yeah. I haven't seen this in a long time. This was every game Karpov-Kasparov. So I'm assuming Magnus looked at this with Kasparov, because Magnus worked with Kasparov for a brief time. Blue marker 69. 999. Yeah, you could find like 15 games in this position from all of the Karpov-Kasparov games they played. This was their line. Good. All right. I mean, I knew the theory 30 years ago. I forgot now. I know you could play King G1. I'm not sure if E5 is even the main move. Might be King G1. All right. Well, definitely I don't know this. Geary knows it. Geary's booked to the gills. Wow, so the knight's going to F3 instead of F4. The knight always goes to F4 in this line. So knight G1, knight F3. That I'm not familiar with. Huh. Yeah, I always play King G1 and knight F4. So I'm not familiar with knight G1, knight F3. I don't think Magnus is familiar with it either. So he's thinking forever, ever. Is there any reason to watch on chess.com if you're not specifically a streamer who has a contract with them? I don't have a contract with them. Yeah, chess.com is the best chess site. Why would you watch anywhere else? Your women, sell me your women. Your children, I want to buy them. How much for the little girl? Ha! What movie's that? Same movie. Who said it? Blues Brothers. Your women, your children, sell me your women. The girl, sell me the little girl. Ha 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 ha. Who said that? John Belushi. Yeah. That was a great scene. Oh, snap. Somebody points it out. Magnus can't play F6 this game. Good. You getting me food? Ooh, village burger.
What happened to get you there?
Nothing. You can't get me food from anywhere, basically. Too vegan-y. All right, what's going on here? Queenie 2. Oh, man, Geary's booked to the gills. This isn't good for Magnus. Magnus tried to get some unusual kind of position, and he probably had some novelty ready, but this novelty was first. Why is Kangaroo showing us this game? That's a great game, by the way, that you're showing. I'm just not sure why you're showing it. But that is a great game. Yeah. MVL score is 2 draws. All right, what's happening here? B5. So white's up a pawn. White has double G pawns. This bishop sucks. This knight is great. It's a very unusual, weird line. But Karpov thought it was good for white. Kasparov thought it was good for black. So they kept playing it. Many games. Most of the games were draws, of course. Before you leave, can I have Perrier?
Yeah. Okay.
Man, I'm so hungry.
I'm not leaving for at least 10 minutes.
Did I eat this morning?
Probably 15 minutes.
Maybe I didn't eat because we started at 8 o'clock. That's why I'm hungry. I didn't eat this morning. I had coffee.
Do you want it now?
Coffee?
Yeah.
Perrier? Yeah, but when you leave, doesn't matter.
Okay.
I didn't see Blues Brothers 2000 because I can't put up with that crap. All right. Knight F3. So Geary decided the knight's better on F3 than on F4 because it defends this. It can go to G5. The bishop's not overworked. Interesting, if true. So white's just going to play King G1, H3, and be up a pawn. And black's like, I have a blockade and I have 2-1. Interesting. The engine likes white because white's up a pawn. Black's not winning it back. This bishop's not the usual great Grunfeld bishop. Yeah, it looks like Geary's going to wrap up the match this game. You agree?
It's too soon to say.
Coen brothers are great. Why you never quote Coen brothers? Coen brothers are great. Come on, give me a break. I can't quote everybody. What's the score? Geary's up 1.5, and MVL's match is 1-1. You know who asked what the score was? Mm-hmm. It was Archer. All right, and the other game hasn't started yet. See, when this tournament started, there was a claim by somebody that they were going to start game 3 at the same time, but they've never done that. They just start the next game whenever they start it. Whenever they can get Farouza's internet to work, that's when they start it. Yeah, the engine hates black's position. So Karpov is correct. Yeah, the engine likes that move. Well, I mean, white's up a pawn. Black has compensation. The computers don't think enough compensation. But I think in a world where humans are playing, it's probably harder to play this with white. Black's got a nice knight, nice queen, 2-1 majority. White's got double G pawns. White's got to fix his king. These pawns can't move. So, in a world where humans are playing, it's hard to play white, but the engine doesn't care, and Karpov didn't care. Karpov wanted white every time. He loved this position. Yeah, 2020 is a strange year. You got Geary not drawing every game, And I told you guys before the stream, it's very common in round robins, the guy in last beats the guy in first. I said, however, this is game 15 and it's 4 games. So that's not going to happen. And now it's happening. All right. MVL, and they're playing the same opening. Hopefully MVL plays better this game. If you're going to play A3, that's better than playing knight F3. That's correct. Okay, he takes. Because now you can't take the knight. Take the knight here, then you're just going to be down a pawn. Right. Now you play knight F3. This is a lot of games that I've played. And then you can play B6 or D5. Or you could play queen b6 to threaten the f2 pawn, then at e3, then the queen goes back, keeping the bishop here. But he played d5. And bishop g5. Good, good. Yeah, I've had white in this position also. Generally, I think it makes more sense to play b6, bishop b7. That's what I usually face. Knight c6 is also good. As in the famous game Feingold Svetozar Gligorich, 1988. Right? Kieran says yes. Yeah. Knight c6 is common. b6 is common. I don't think d5 is very good. Yeah. Yeah, after bishop e7, white's just obviously better. Rook d1, e3. I've had white in these positions. Yeah, Ali Rez's d5 and bishop e7, not the best line. All right, and what happened here? He played rook f8. Always play rook f8, etc. Mainly etc. Now this is pinned, so queen takes d4 is annoying. So the engine plays rook d1, making it less annoying. And he played rook d1. The problem with rook f8 is it doesn't really help get our pawns going here. So maybe he's just going to chill. Problem moving your pawns is it weakens the defense of the c4 knight. So it's nice to have the knight there. Did you call?
The order?
Yeah.
Yeah. They just take a long time for that reason.
Are you going to get fries and then say they're terrible eventually?
No, I got fried jalapenos
Ooh,
and chili.
ooh. Better have a drink.
Tea.
Okay. Don't forget my Perrier. You would never forget. All right, what happened? Both players resigned. Rook d1. Yeah, this is better for white. So the first game, Firouzja completely outplayed MVL in this opening, and now it's vice versa. And somehow all the games are draws. Yeah, this is unpleasant. This is like a QGD, except black's played bishop here, bishop here, bishop here, bishop here, bishop here. That's not right. So it took 3 moves to get here. So white's got pressure on the d pawn. White's just very good at simply do this and be better. Yeah, just better for white. I had these positions before Firouzja was born and before MVL was born. Then they were born, so my rating went down. It wasn't good. All right, so white's doing well in both games. Geary wants to wrap up this match and beat Carlsen before game 4. Very suspicious. Games are still going. This game started about 8 or 9 minutes ago, I guess. This game started about 4 minutes ago. I don't know. MVL has a very nice position. This is a bad line for black. And Geary has a very nice position. Karpov is impressed. And it could be the reason this line with bishop g4 and knight a5 isn't played anymore is because the super GMs think it's good for white. Because as you've noticed the last few tournaments, black's playing b6, bishop b7, Nepomniachtchi style. And Ding also played b6, bishop b7. And of course, the world's leading authorities are MVL and Svidler, although MVL seems to have given up the Grunfeld. So I don't know. I don't remember Magnus playing the Grunfeld, but maybe I'm wrong. Don't remember it. Carlsen's blunder was in game 2, not in game 1. Yeah, that's f3 is the worst move ever. Okay, e6. It's giving up some of the dark squares there. Yeah, this is just good for white. White's up a pawn. He's got to play king g1, breaking the pin. And this bishop is not very good. And, later I can play knight here. And it's hard for black to do anything. Black's position is very good, but he is down a pawn. And the bishop on g7 is pretty bad, pretty blocked. And, white's just better. So I predict king g1, getting out of this pin. And then white plays h4 and advances on the king side. And I don't know what black does. Black's position's fine, but how does he improve? I don't know. So a very good position for white. And this is also a very good position for white. Put it in H. It's like black's like 2 tempi down from a normal QGD. It's bad for black. Go everybody. Go etc. All right, let me see what's happening on Twitter. Don't forget, Chess24 retweeted never play F3. Good, good. That is an important retweet. Okay, so he played H4. Excellent. Yeah, this is a bad position for black. Yeah, H5 is annoying. King G1. I mean, black can't really do very much. Let's see. 47 people said never play F3. Good, good. Carlsen played the Grunfeld. That feels like Magnus is going for the Armageddon. Not sure what that means. Magnus is down 1. All right, he played A4. Good, good. What happened here? MVL took everything, giving away almost all of his advantage, but possibly winning a pawn. Okay, you can't take it with a rook. You can't take it with a knight. The engine plays B4, which seems nutty. Yeah, bishop takes and pawn takes isn't a good way for white to get an advantage. Yeah, so he threw away his advantage. I think these guys are playing for 4 draws. Or maybe MVL's hoping Fruz's internet runs out and he wins. Jan Gustafsson said, this is an outlandish blunder oversight from the world champion. It does not happen often. Well, obviously. You know, the F3. Man. Jan said something that I would say, and you guys would give me crap for it. When he blundered and was losing last game, Gustafsson said, at this point, it feels more likely Carol Baskin's husband comes back than Magnus comes back in this game. God damn. That's pretty harsh and true. Wow. I don't know. Twitter's not as good as it used to be. I guess I have to look at more Trump tweets. All right. Karen, can you hear me? During the game, after Carlsen blundered a rook,
Yeah.
Gustafsson on Chess24 said, it's more likely Carol Baskin's husband will come back than Magnus will come back this game. Damn.
That's funny.
Good thing I didn't say that. All right, so B4, very suspicious. Yeah, I don't like any of these moves that White's playing. So White was better, now he's not. Terrible. Speaking of terrible, let's see how Geary wraps this up. King G1 is correct. Yeah, very good play by Geary. Plays a good line. Plays Knight G1, F3, which I don't know. Plays King G1, Bishop G5, H4. Correct. Basically, White's up a pawn. Black has very little compensation. So if Magnus isn't the greatest player ever, and Firouzja isn't, then who is? I don't know. Ginger GM, maybe? Ginger GM was one of the first to play H4 every game, so maybe. Yeah. Also up on time. Yep. Nick is emo, paraphrasing Pulp Fiction. Very good. Now, just because Geary winning wasn't an according to Hoyle miracle doesn't mean you got to take this seriously. All 3 results will happen. Agreed. Kobe, then COVID, then Geary beats Magnus. Correctamundo. B4, double question mark. I mean, that's a 1-move blunder. What's wrong with him? What's happening? God, B4 is so bad. Bishop E7 resigns. God damn. Wow, what a bad move. I wonder what's wrong with Magnus. Maybe he's, something happened. Yeah, this is like double question mark move. He just didn't like his position, so he's trying to do something. Yeah, bishop e7 is +3 according to the engine. Yeah, this is too soon. This is weak, this is weak, this is weak. This is no good, etc. Mainly, etc. Horrible. Wow. Well, Gary's going to win again. God damn. The funniest is if Gary wins game 4. H5 is not as good. So bishop e7, obviously black has to play rook b8, although the engine doesn't like rook b8. But I mean, like rook here, bishop takes doesn't make any sense to defend his pawn. Then rook c1, and the knight's not defended. Where's the knight going to go? I don't know. The engine actually plays queen here, which is ridiculous. I don't know where the knight goes. I mean, there's nowhere to go. Terrible. I wonder what the players missed. I don't know. This is like resignable, it says. All right, let's go. Well, you can't go here, rook c5. You can't go here, bishop takes. You have to go here, I guess, if you're going to move the knight. And then queen a6 wins. Bishop d6 is +50. Yeah, you can't move the rook sideways because you lose this pawn. You can't move the rook up and down because this is mate. So, okay, you can't go there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, bishop e7 just won immediately. Yeah. The game's over. Yeah, and he played h5. He's still much better, but that doesn't refute, this stuff. I mean, this isn't hard to calculate. Bishop here forks these two. Rook b8. Rook c1 attacks the knight, which was just undefended. And then it's horrible. You can't move the knight anywhere. There's nowhere to go. Yeah, bishop d6 is winning because of this checkmate. And the pawn's hanging. The rook's overworked. I mean, it's just a very easy win. So he played h5, so the game goes on, but he would have won if he played bishop e7, rook c1. Then Giri would have won for sure. All right. After b4, queen c7 is correct. Rook c1 is forced. And this is about equal. Queen d8 is good. I'd rather have white, but, two bishops. What else? Now this game, god damn. Terrible. Yeah. This is why Kasparov retired. Yeah, truth hurts. God damn. Oh, after queen d7. Queen d7 is the right move. So here, here, here. Queen d7 is the right move. Bishop c5. I don't know what to do with that. The engine doesn't know what to do with it either. I mean, knight b6 just hangs the b4 pawn. Knight a5 loses to bishop d6 and attacking this and rook c7. I mean, the engine just gives up the b pawn. I mean, this is what I would do. But yeah, you gotta watch it. Okay, this is forced. So rook c7 doesn't happen. And then queen d2 threatens this and it's pinned. I mean, white's up a pawn and better. So it's just terrible. All right. The game would have gone on, but white should win. I'm not saying white's not going to win now. It's just less likely. But he's still much better. Okay, so h5, and Magnus still hasn't moved. The engine says b3 is the only move. Obviously, that's why he played b4. That's why he played a4, to play b3. So, I mean, after takes, the g-pawn's really weak and black's king is exposed. But, too bad. That's the way life is. Magnus playing really badly today. So, I don't know what he'll do. He could just blunder every move. I don't know. He's having a bad day. Happens. Sometimes you have a bad day. His other days were pretty good. First 3 rounds, Magnus played fine. Or the first 4 rounds. This round 5? Yeah. First 4 matches, Magnus played all right. This match, he's not impressive in any of the games. Yeah, the deeper Stockfish thinks, the more it hates black's position. I mean, this line's not played anymore at the top level. And in the 80s and 90s, it was like every Grandmaster game. So I guess they just decided it was bad for black. And then Carlsen figured maybe Geary doesn't know why, because it was before he was born. So I don't know. All right. And then queen d2, bishop e6. This is about equal. This match, the players look like they want to have 4 draws. Although MVL not doing good in the Armageddon, always losing in the first 10 moves. Okay, he did play b3. That is correct. Takes. Very good, very good. Well, the engine still likes white, but doesn't say white's winning. But it likes white. This is one of those situations again where does this pawn queen or does white just take it? If white just takes it, that's no good. But okay, the fact that he didn't play bishop e7 and rook c1, now black has counterplay. So even though the engine likes white, black could win because it's tricky. So all 3 results are possible and will happen. Bishop e2. I need to teach these guys how to play this opening. Neither one of them knows how to play it. Terrible. Okay, he played h6, which is a blunder. Yeah, Magnus isn't playing well this tournament. He just decided if he took this pawn would be weak. He's going to try to block up his king. And the engine says, no. It really hates this move. I mean, I don't want to leave my opponent a pawn on g6. That's scary. I'd get rid of that pawn. Magnus's judgment today hasn't been good. Not good. Yeah. Usually his judgment's really good. So white has a very simple way of playing to take advantage of h6. Bishop attacks the rook. The rook moves away, then bishop back to f6. That sort of makes h6 look silly. Moving the bishop anywhere is good. Obviously not hanging it, but yeah. So this is very bad for black. The engine once again says white's winning. I mean, the mainline Grunfelds, that's not what Magnus plays. He's just figuring it's 15-minute, mix it up, got to get that win back. I mean, he could have just drawn with black like he did the first game and then went with white, but I don't know. That seems like a more reasonable approach than losing this game and the match is over. Okay, castles, that is very boring now. Yeah, this game is going to be a draw. So I have 3 draws in the MVL Fallujah match. And this game, I don't know. I mean, Geary's winning. I don't know what the time situation is. Geary's up 8 minutes? He's up 8 minutes? Magnus under 2, Geary over 10? Well, then Geary should win. I mean, Geary's winning on the board and winning on the clock. And Geary's 2 pawns up. It's good to be 2 pawns up. And we got the Geary gun. There's the Alekhine gun, the Feingold gun. The Geary gun is just pawns. It's just 3 pawns. Yeah. Bishop e7, probably rook f4 is the best, but we want the rook over here for these purposes. And then I could play g5. That rook's not good on f4. Bam! Hanging a piece because I mouse clicked. I never realized what a bad mouse clicker I was. This isn't Carlsen's day. He'll play another day. Now, luckily for him, the first half of the tournament isn't the important part. You got to come in the top 4, which obviously is going to do. And then you got the matches. Those are the important ones. But Magnus knows if he loses this game, he better stay off Twitter for a few days. Yep. What? I've been a Magnus hater all along. What are you talking about? Quadruple the pawns. Rawr. This was a mainline Grunfeld, which we saw a lot of in the Karpov-Kasparov matches in the late 80s and mid 80s. Replay the game until now. So we have a Grunfeld, and then the main line from the mid and late 80s from all the Karpov-Kasparov matches was this one. Nowadays they play B6. That's all the games we've been looking at in this tournament. But Magnus played the old line, Knight A5. They don't play that anymore. But you could find many Karpov-Kasparov games in this position, and in the and they started like this. And I think Karpov usually played King G1 here, maybe, but I don't know this move Knight G1. I guess that's just a normal move. I don't know it. I know in the Karpov match, the knight always went here at some point. And then, White put his knight on F3, and then, Netflix and chill. And then in this position, he blundered with B4. Bishop E7 just seems to win. And then H6 is also a blunder. Yeah. So the whole game, the engine says Giri's up between half a pawn and a pawn. And then after the B4 blunder and the H6 blunder, now he's up like 1.7, 2. So, yeah, I mean, this is his only hope. Otherwise, he's just down 2 pawns and lost. Bishop's no good. King's no good. White's king is good. White's up 2 pawns. But you got some chances. Got this. I was told by the Gawking Rabble, however, time situation is not good for Magnus. There's good and there's not good. Not good. This game is boring. They traded everything. Well, they will. White has attack against the isolated pawn, but not really. Isolated pawn's there. And black has the 2 bishops. So this game's pretty equal. Both sides' play has been somewhat suspicious. White should have had the advantage out of the opening, and he threw it all away. But this is the game. If Giri wins this game, it'll be the craziest thing to happen since he won the last game. He's been thinking like 3 minutes in this position about H6. And the engine really prefers bishop E7, but it says bishop D2 and bishop H4 are also good. Bishop F6 is not one of the engine moves. It says that's just awful. That's a very strange move. The bishop on G7 was terrible. So he's giving all of his pawns away to trade it. It's a nonsensical move. It's like Giri thought he was worse and he's trading to a draw. I guess. Bishop F6 is just terrible. That's the worst move. That move wasn't even one of the top 5 engine moves. So bad. That move gives up his bishop for that terrible bishop on G7 and loses all of his pawns. It's just very strange why he did that. The only reason you would do that is if you thought you were worse. Like he was really afraid of the B pawn. So I don't know. That's a very weird move. Yeah. All right. Well, Magnus is trying to lose. Giri's trying to draw. And when Giri wants to draw, then, Yeah, that's a very, very strange move. Yeah, I mean, he's just trading into a drawn position. I mean, all right. He knows he can't lose this position because that king is too exposed. Well, that's pretty strong. But he figures the king is so exposed, there's no way black can win. Maybe Giri thought he could win this position. He thought the king was too exposed. And the engine says, no. So queen c5 check was forced. Yeah, that was that bishop on g7 was terrible the whole game. And then he traded it, and he lost his e-pawn. I don't know. Well, his d-pawn, I guess, now. All right, and also it was a strange decision because of the time situation. You want to have a lot of time on the clock for himself and little for his opponent. You want all the pieces on the board. Complicated. Now you trade everything. Magnus's 2 minutes don't look so bad. Yeah, it says every rook move is a draw. All 3 of them. All the safe squares draw, it says. Yeah. That was a very strange decision. I know we make fun of Giri for drawing all the time, But Geary could have been playing for a draw there. Maybe he thought this was winning. Maybe he thought this king was too exposed, and he's just wrong. This king's not so safe. All the pawns are weak. This is a passed pawn. I mean, that was an awful decision. Very bad play this round. All right, queen d6, knight c5 is good, rook fc8 is good, knight e6 is okay, fe6 is good, e4 is okay. And they just trade all the pieces off and draw. Very reasonable. I like taking this bishop and playing e4 myself when my opponent has the two bishops. Okay, he's trying to get f4 because he gave away the f4 square. Obviously, white can just play g3, takes on d5. This is just equal. Nobody's better here. Okay, he played rook f1. Every move is a draw. Everything is food. Yeah, this game's going to end in a draw. I mean, Geary was winning twice this game. Terrible. Now, Magnus could go crazy and blunder and lose, thinking he's winning with this, with this pawn. But I mean, he's not going to hang mate in 1 or 2. But, he could. He could blunder because he wants to win. I think Magnus is going to be happy to draw this game. Yeah. And then he'll play queen e7. Could play queen c7, but I think he'll play queen e7. Also queen a7. Basically any move that stops this. Yeah, after the queen moves back to stop checkmate, then this pawn's not as dangerous. We can try to gobble it up. All these pawns are ridiculous. There's perpetual check and stuff. So it'll just be a draw. In fact, the engine line is queen here and then perpetual check. But every move is a draw. It doesn't matter what he does. I guess the only person who could lose is Geary. If Geary doesn't take this pawn right away, in like 6 or 7 moves, it can become dangerous. So, but queen b5 makes the game a draw right away because it threatens to win the pawn, and then black has a perpetual. Like, that's it. Somebody in the chat here said Geary managed to throw the game twice. Damn, harsh. All right, and he did play that. He didn't take back Fallujah. He played knight f4, knife f4. I mean, white's slightly better here, I guess. I guess I'd rather have white. But, black's close to equal. He played king g7. And they will agree to a draw, repeat soon. Everything's all zeros. This game is interesting because the pawn structure has changed. Black is very active, but he has a lot of pawn weaknesses everywhere. You're back already? And Geary had a great game, and twice he made the game a draw. So now it's going to be a draw. He was like +2, plus 1.7. And then he would give away his advantage. Then he was +2 again. And then he gave away his advantage.
The third game?
Yeah, bishop f6 was a terrible decision. Again, he fought forever on that decision and played bishop f6. That was awful. Did they agree to a draw yet? Not yet. Bishop c4, that is correct. Well, white's a little better. Black's got to have a weakness here somewhere. So, okay. Took there, and they perpetual check each other, and everybody's happy. I guess Magnus will play queen g4 and play for a win. Because, why not? Yeah. He figures he can't lose, although his time situation is worse. If every move draws, he doesn't care. Technically, black is better because the e5 pawn is weaker than the e6 pawn. It's very technical. let's see. We gotta delete it, kill everybody, ban you. I ban you. You ban me. All right, he played queen d3. Put it in h. Always put it in h. Every move draws. That's one of them. Now white's threatening to win. All right, and perpetual's coming. Queen takes, and then perpetual. Oh, he played here. Magnus really doesn't want to draw. Well, that'll be a draw. Magnus is trying, but trying is the first step to failure. Knight takes d5. The engine doesn't like that because the e6 pawn's weaker than the d5 pawn. Well, now white's just better because that e6 pawn really is weak. So rook fe1, and then squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Yeah, it would have been better to take with the pawn. This decision wasn't very good. This pawn, that pawn, that's not as good. Yeah. Queen d6, king g6, g3, etc. He wants to play king f5. King f5 is probably a bad move. If king f5, the queen somehow gets to h7 and wins. All right, this game's a draw. Carlsen's trying to win, but he's not going to win. And MVL played a4. All right. King h8, putting it in h. g3, stopping the f4 square again. King has the g2 square. Yeah, this is better for white. The engine says white's slightly better by taking this and playing rook d1 and knight b3. That should be a draw, but I guess white's better. Queen b4 was a good move. That's the problem with a4 is it gave up the b4 square, but the a3 pawn was sort of hanging. But white played very slowly, trying to improve his position, and that was a nice quick move, trading everything. All right, did these guys draw yet? Let's see, queen c4, always retreat. All right, so now if his queen moves here, queen here, yay. Queen h1 mate is coming, if he blunders. G4 is a funny way to draw. G4 is a weird move, but okay, queen a1 is more likely. Now he'll play queen d1 again. I guarantee it. Every move draws, but he'll play queen d1. Magnus squeezing blood from a stone. Time differential down to 1 minute. Almost caught up on time. Queen d1. That is correct. All right, what's going on here? This says white's dead lost. What happened? What did I miss? Yeah, knight b3 is a terrible move. White's better here, but white has to play like king g2 and rook d1, and he just missed rook c4. This is a blunder. He didn't see rook c4. Those collinear moves. Yeah, MVL like relaxed. This move is really bad. What a terrible move. Like his knight was stopping rook c4. And the pawn's not defensible. God. That's an awful move. God. Right b3 is so terrible. Well, now he's lost. Bishop's coming to b2, and this is hanging, and this queen's. A knight b3 is a terrible blunder. Wow, he didn't see rook c4. If he saw rook c4, he wouldn't have played knight b3. I mean, now he's just lost. This pawn's a monster. I mean, that was a terrible blunder from MVL. Unbelievable. Yeah. I was just winning. I mean, I go here. Knight b3 is an incredible blunder. Wow, what a bad move. Damn. And then I guess he resigned. Oh, he didn't resign. I mean, yeah, I mean, he went totally nuts, MVL. That was crazy what he did, and he resigned here. Wow. He had like an advantage, and he was equal, and he made like a blunder, and then he just kept playing bad on purpose. Wow, what a crazy... I mean, knight b3 is a bad move, but then after here, he just totally fell apart. Like here, he's got to think forever and try to limit the damage. Knight c5 is the best move, defending the a-pawn. And then after bishop here, he's in a lot of trouble. But, you know, it's maybe he could hold it, but the way he played was just like giving up. Wow. He lost that with no fight at all. That's just crazy. Go Ali Reza. All right, we got this dead drawn position. Okay, he did play. Wait, what happened here? What did I miss? So take. So he didn't repeat. He played g4. He could have played queen a1. All right, and this is a dead draw. And then some. Mainly dead drawn. But I guess Magnus could play to move 100 if he wants. Wow, MVL was better, and he lost without a fight because he allowed rook c4, rook takes a4. That was crazy. But he missed a collinear move. I mean, how could he do that? He played rook c3 when he was black against Nepomniachtchi. Then he blew that game too. Wow, that's crazy. And the truth hurts. This is a very instructive king and pawn endings for you guys. Some of the king and pawn endings are winning. Some are drawn. Queen g3 check, draw agreed. Yeah. Very good. Well, he'll play king f5 or king f6. Yeah. But still draw. Yeah, they're taking the queen was a draw, so he plays king f5. Very good. Now queen takes, queen loses. Queen g5 check is a draw. After queen g5, king g5, white only has one move that draws there. Do you guys know what it is? In this position, you guys know what the only drawing move is? There's only one. You got so many legal moves. Your chances are small. No. No. They don't shake hands because it's an internet tournament, so they're not... All right, let's see. That's 2 wrong answers, 3 wrong answers, 4 wrong answers. God damn. It's like 7 right answers and 6 another wrong answer, but he put a smiley face. All right. Yeah, king g3 is the only drawing move. All right, so he played king e4, and then I have to refresh. King f4. Let's see, how far back do I have to go? Okay. Queen e2, queen e3, queen c4, king f5. All right. It's the deadest of draws, but he's trying. He's trying really hard to be the shepherd. Yeah, the problem with playing e5 is white has a lot more checks. The problem with not playing e5 is you don't win unless you push your pawn. So the truth hurts. King g1 does not draw. That king g1's that's not distant opposition. That's just losing. Yeah, king g3 draws. King g1 just loses. King g1 would draw if the black pawn was at e5, but it was at e6. If it was at e5, then you would be correct. But it was at e6, so you were not correct. All right. That's pretty good, though. Pretty good that Magnus has the better of the draw after this dead drawn position. Tired and old. King g3, there's not much to calculate. When the guy moves his king, you move your king opposite. King f5, king f3, king e5, king e3. Not much to analyze. It's just basic. That's the basic opposition. Maybe Magnus will lose on time getting orange juice or something. Magnus has more time. Well, this doesn't matter now. There's no winning chances now. He can't block the checks with his queen, so that's bad. Okay, and they agreed to a draw. Yeah. Thing is, if you play king e2, so you can block with the queen, I play queen b2 check, and I'm on your pawn. So you can never block with the queen because your pawn's hanging. If you go anywhere else, I check you where the queen can't block. So if the king goes to these squares, I check you and the queen can't block. The only way you can block is if the king is here. Then if you check somewhere, I can block, but you're attacking the e-pawn. So check, and yeah, so they agreed to a draw. This game's over. Now back to what Trying to Learn was saying. Well, actually, Magnus could have taken here, which transposes. Right. Now, if the king is here, black's winning because black's pawn's on e6. So black moves his king up to f4 and e4, and then when white gets the opposition, black plays e5. If the black pawn was on e5, then this would be a draw. And in fact, if the black pawn was on e5 and white's king was on h1, king g1's the only drawing move. King here and king here lose. This is a draw because I just follow your king. And you can't, it was the opposition. And when you go here, this is the deadest of draws. Yeah. All right, so Magnus should have lost that game, and he ended up drawing comfortably at the end. Bishop f6 is a terrible move. And now, Geary needs to draw to win the match. Place your bets. And MVL has to win with black to tie it up. Carlsen has to win with white to tie it up. Everybody predicted that Geary and Firouzja would be up 2-1. You know what it's time for? Another train. All right. The more you donate, the more Geary beats Magnus or something. I don't know. Or vice versa. That was an incredible, just total blunt, MVL just totally fell apart. I've never seen, knight b3 terrible, and after rook c4, he's like, oh my god, then he just fell apart. Yeah, knight b3 was really bad. Wow, what a terrible move. It's not as bad as when Magnus played f3 last round, but it's close. Another train. Go train. We need one more 100 centidues. One more. You can do it. Yeah, you did it. Hey, Karen. Mubot said I was here 2.5 hours because he was counting my first one. Right. And now it's not. Now it says I've been here 2.5 hours, okay, which is correct. It went from 2.5 to 2.5 like an hour later. What? Who's programming this stuff? 100 centidues. Another train. When is the roundup stream happening? Normally it happens in the evening. Last night I didn't do it because we had a tournament that went for 3 hours. So I did it this morning, and I suspect I will do this one tonight, but I'm not sure. So either 9 p.m. tonight or 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. If you follow me on Discord or Twitter, then you'll know. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow because today I have to see who didn't cheat in my tournament yesterday and not ban them. That's going to be very few people. So if you won a prize yesterday, I'm going to look at all the games of the prize winners and see who I'm throwing out and who I'm not. Probably not throwing out anybody because we already threw everybody out. And then You can contact Karen to donate, to get your prize money. Yeah. I'm a sellout. I agree. Good, good. Yay, 5 suds from C Wizzo. Go C Wizzo. Karen wins the under 1400 because I threw everybody out from that section. Trying to learn. 200 centidues. Mr. Roboto cheer. Yep. Now, Chess24's Twitch page, when Magnus is playing, and when Magnus is not playing, that changes how many viewers they had. Yesterday, they had about 11,000, 12,000. Now they have 25,000. Those guys like when Magnus plays. By the way, Nepomniachtchi is streaming right now Hearthstone. It's true. And he has almost no viewers, but all right. Very suspicious. Yeah. All right, when is the last game going to start? Probably about 3 minutes. I'm just guessing. I don't know. 100 centidues. Go, everybody. Keep giving centidues. The more centidues you give, the more money we have. Geary and Magnus. Geary's up 2-1. Faruja MVL. Faruja's up 2-1. Faruja needs to draw with white, and Geary needs to draw with black, and they win their matches. If Carlsen wins and or MVL wins, Armageddon. Yeah, Geary won game 2. He should have won game 3, but he didn't, and now it's game 4. It's Pietro. You're in the world where the whole world has a virus, and Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash, and Geary wins occasionally. That's the world you're in now. It's different than last year. Nepomniachtchi streams in English and Russian. Sometimes both. Sometimes, depends. Probably more often Russian than English. Now, if you want to hear Nepomniachtchi in Russian, don't go to his stream. Go to Naroditsky's stream and wait for him to imitate him. That's funnier. Progmaster subscribed. All right. So white needs to draw. So white played the exchange Slav. Good, good. Jonathan Daniel subscribed. Knight H5, as in the game Feingold Becerra. Although I think Becerra played E6. He played Knight H5 eventually. Was Kobe ever convicted? No convictions. He wasn't convicted or tried. I'm not sure he was arrested. I don't think he was arrested. I think they just brought him in for questioning. And he had a basketball, so they said, all right, you can go. Yay, he's trying to make it a Grunfeld. He's trying. Don't call it a comeback. Trial is the first step to conviction. All right, what movie was this? Any convictions? Convictions? No. Presidential decree. Anybody? Anyone? Casablanca. That's pretty funny. My cousin Vinny's a funny answer, but not correct. No convictions. Sounds like Naked Gun. The correct answer, which I'm surprised nobody got, is Stripes. That's when they get inducted into the army. They go to the army office because their life isn't going well. And the guy says, any convictions? And they look at each other and go, not convictions. Yeah. That was funny. So Bill Murray quits his job. He's driving a cab and he stops his cab on a bridge and just walks away with a customer in his car. His car gets repossessed as he's getting home. And the pizza he got falls out of the box and it ruins the dry cleaning. And then his girlfriend leaves him. So he decides to go into the army. Very suspicious. All right, what's happening? E3, the most passive move ever. Good, good. Bishop E2. All right, Ali Reza really knows how to play passively. Good, good. Still okay for him. But obviously, white's not getting any advantage here. Never convicted. Two plus one equals fries. I'm more into sit-down comedians than stand-up comedians. I like to sit down. All right, let's get the train going. We can't die on level 3. No. Is there a reason why in almost every game D4 is played? Well, sometimes C4 is played or E4. E4 has been played a lot this tournament. There's a lot of Rui Lopez's this tournament. Yeah. Kobe. All right, what's going on here? Nothing. MVL doesn't want to trade queens with queen b6 because it's a must-win game. So he would rather keep the game complex if possible. Right, sweetie? Karen says yes. Did you get jalapeno poppers?
No, they have fried jalapenos.
And did you eat them? And were they spicy?
Yeah, they're really good.
Spicy? Yeah. I'm doing well. All right, we got to get like 2 more subs, maybe 3, for the hype train. It's going to end in 40 seconds. No. Carlsen Geary has begun. Carlsen needs to win, must win. And Geary plays the Najdorf. God damn. That's the right attitude. Got to play the Najdorf. I agree. Playing that Najdorf. He doesn't want to draw. Geary's playing for the win. He wants to crush him. Yeah, I already said I was doing well. Let's see. This guy keeps saying the same thing about Lysol. Ugh. The chat's dumber than usual.
What are they saying?
They keep telling me to inject Lysol in my veins. That he keeps putting. It's like he's spamming the chat with that. It's good. Let's see. No, the train ended. I hate you all. All right, Magnus played F3 again. A very unusual move in this position. Usually they play F4 when they play Bishop G5. When they play F3, they play Bishop E3. So Bishop G5 F3 is very strange. Very weird move order. The scam is over. No. I never get the emotes that are visible to me. Never. They're never visible to me. I can never see them.
Is there anything I can get Spencer to work on with regards to filtering out the cheaters, or you just want to wait and do it?
Yeah, you could tell him if he can find the standings, the people who've already been kicked out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the next people who are going to win prizes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, investigate them.
So you want him to do it?
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was.
Oh, yeah, I'd rather have him do it. Yeah, he can do it. Yeah.
And he can, okay.
Yeah, he can do as well as I can.
And then just send us the results.
Yeah, just give us the results of the people who didn't cheat. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just tell us what the actual results are. Like, get all the cheaters out. You know, Adam Wallace first, you're second, you know. Like, all the people who didn't cheat. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wait anything.
All right. Yeah, these lines are usually good for black. If the bishop's on E3, then this line makes more sense because when white pushes all of his pawns, he can play G5. So it's weird that Magnus is playing this way. I guess he's playing a very sharp, opposite side castling way with no theory because the bishop should be here. So he's just getting out of theory and playing super sharp. But it's not good. Probably I'd rather have black already. Yeah, bishop G5, king B1, A3, queen E1. God damn. Queen E1 like loses to knight takes E4. So I don't know. He's already lost. Yeah, I don't know. Magnus not playing well today. He might play rook C8 because that's also good for black, but that's a terrible move. He's just playing bad. Yeah, he played H4 right away to make up for it. So yeah, this is very interesting. You take, and I don't know what white does. That all loses. So, I mean, if you don't want to lose a pawn, you have to take this and then take this. If you don't want to lose a pawn, and then white's position is just awful. Black has 2 bishops. Pawn's on F3 for some reason. The bishop is good. Open C file. Here comes the attack. The knight's not very well placed here, has to retreat. White's pieces are all here. This is really bad for white. Yeah, Magnus just totally lost it. All right, now Geary wasn't expecting Magnus to make such a bad mistake. He played rook c8, which is fine. And now Magnus saved his bishop with h4, which makes sense. Yeah, Magnus just not playing well today. All right, and what happened here? Queen b3, rook b8, rook d1's a strange move. It's also very strange. All right, everybody's strange today. Bishop e1, the first non-strange move. All right, so this is about equal, and MVL needs to win. So Firouzja is just playing solid and saying, you can't beat me. So, all right, and Magnus is just playing bad, but, kind of bad where somebody's going to win. So that's good. Yeah, this is why you play the Najdorf to get positions like this with black. Very solid, excellent attacking chances. This bishop's not very good. Yeah, good. The engine lines are very funny. G4, rook e8, queen g3, queen b6, queen e1, all zeros. What? Queen g3, queen e1. Oh, because after queen g3, queen b6, black wants to sack the exchange here, so queen e1. That's funny. This isn't really a Magnus kind of position. I'm surprised he's going all in to win, because usually when Magnus wins, he gets a slight advantage, then a clear advantage, then a winning advantage, then he wins. Not like it's total chaos and he wins, sort of by luck, and then he ties the match. That's what he's going for. Rook h3. Ugh. Magnus is playing like he's never had white in a Najdorf. Probably because he's never, Rook h3. Oh, God. What kind of move is that? What's wrong with him? Rook h3. Ugh. God, I wish I could listen, to other people's commentary during mine, like Svidler and Grishuk, so they could be madder than me. I'm sure they're madder than me. I'm sure they're mad about this. They're mad about his opening choice. They're mad about that. Also, their favorite show is Mad About You. All right, so Carlsen's having a tough day today. God damn. The only thing worse that could happen to Carlsen is if he wins this game, wins the toss, takes black in the Armageddon, and loses. That's the only thing that could happen that's worse. Lose the Armageddon with black. All right. Knight c3. It's the boring world of Niels Bohr. All right, so Firouzja's just like, you can't beat me. I win the match. He's just chill, solid, boring. I agree. Yeah, equal position. Neither side should win. Nothing much can happen except a lot of trades. We can trade down the C file. We can trade here. White's perfectly solid. And, the engine lines are just people trading pieces to equality. So that's exactly what a Firouzja wants. And MVL's going to have to burn up lots of time trying to find a way to get some trickiness going. Something. All right, always retreat. Good French kind of play. Rook f8 is good. This gives the f8 square to the bishop. The rook is lined up with the queen, making d5 more accessible. Excellent move, rook to e8. I can't even explain this move to you. I got nothing. I guess if Magnus pushes all of his pawns and his rook's not lined up here, I don't know. That is a very weird move. All right, the trade fest has begun. Knight takes e4. Now, d takes e4 is probably not as good as bishop takes e4, but I was going to say he's probably going to play it because you got to get some action. So it's not a bad move, but we got to get some double-edged, something. Got to do something, a little something. So this is reasonable, this is reasonable, this is reasonable. Knight d2 is the kind of move you play when you need to draw for the win. And maybe d5 and knight h4 is if you have to win. So probably this makes the most sense. The most boring move. Yeah. I assume Magnus has a huge time disadvantage now. Well, probably the audio quality of the of Chess 24, if it's not good, I don't know if it's good, but if it's not good, it's probably because they got 25,000 guys doing commentary. So if they had one guy doing commentary, it'd probably be okay. But if you told me I'd have 7 people in here doing commentary, sound quality wouldn't be as good. And also they have commentary in different languages. So they got all kinds of stuff going on. So, but yeah, when you have like 4, 5, 6 guys in a room, he blundered again. He made the same blunder. H5 is just a blunder. This is a much worse blunder than the other H5 because now this just wins a pawn. Wow, Magnus really playing bad. See, now the D6 pawn is defended. So that line that I showed you before, I mean, bishop, yeah, this is, yeah. Knight takes E4 wins. H6 is really good also. Magnus playing terribly.
Yeah.
I mean, really bad. I mean, really, like, he plays bad. Like, there's something wrong with him.
Spencer's going to do it all and send it over.
Yeah, I mean, it was really bad. Yeah, okay. Gary's going to win this game. Yeah. I mean, it might draw because he wins the match, but this is just bad. Yeah. Also, H6 was really good because it's not clear what white would do. I don't know what white would do. Terrible. Yeah, this is H5. Rook H3, H5. God damn. Yeah. Somebody in the chat says Geary beats Ding, although he didn't really. He lost to Ding, and he beats Magnus. He must be cheating. By the way, he beat Ding with black. He beat Magnus with black. Now he's beating Magnus with black again. All right. I mean, H5 is so stupid. Rook H3 is stupid. Why are you so stupid? Yeah. All right. See, F takes E4 is the worst move, so I predict that now. I mean, if he takes this, knight takes, and then rook takes, and okay. So he has to play knight takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes C2. He has to do that. That's got to be losing. Wow, he played bishop E7? Oh, God. What's wrong with Magnus? What's he doing? God. Okay, he's going to play knight F5 and go into this dead loss position where he's up in exchange and he has no hope because of knight B6, and then this is weak and this is all absurd. I guess this is the best he could have done because at least he has a material advantage. Yeah, so here's how the game's going to go. This is what's going to happen. And this is terrible for white. This is like a dream for black. Bishop D5 and C3 and then this is all ridiculous. Yeah. Very un-Magnus-like. Terrible. All right. Wow, the engine likes taking the knight too. Oh, because you take on C3. I didn't see that. Oh, this is also good. Yeah. This is also better for black. Well, threatening to draw and win the match. Not even take the rook and mate him, just win the match. Yeah, that's also good. Man, this is really bad for white. God damn. In fact, what does he do here? Is there a way that white can draw here? It says white can draw. But I mean, this is mate. So, oh, he has a perpetual. Okay. I was wondering like how black doesn't win here. But he plays king C1. I didn't see king C1. Yeah, and that's perpetual check. Yeah, you just check, and it's a draw. Huh. I mean, black can probably try to win, but he needs a draw for, to win the match. So e takes F5 sort of forces the draw, I guess. Because you have to play, yeah. So Geary can win the match right now. Takes this. He's threatening queen here. And he's also threatening knight here, mate. God damn. I mean, yeah. This is like forced. It's as if white doesn't do these moves, he just loses. And then black perpetual checks and wins the match. So he can win the match right now if he wants. Yep, that's what he did. Yeah, Geary played a line that's a forced draw, and Magnus can't draw, so Magnus is going to go nuts and lose, which is the correct thing to do. That is correct. Oh, he didn't do it. He played bishop d3. There's a way here he can be losing. He can play rook c1, and then after knight c5, play f4, showing why rook h3 was so good. And then the engine says white's completely dead lost here. Bishop comes to e4, knight, and okay, white's position is absurd. But he should have done that because now there's a forced draw with knight c5, knight a4. So he should have done that because he doesn't want to draw. He has to win. Yeah, knight b6 is the same because you're playing knight here and then there's a perpetual check. Wow. Truth hurts. He'll play knight c5. So Magnus will probably escape with a draw because, you know, if Geary draws, he wins the match. And Geary probably prefers to draw rather than win. You know, he's Geary. But yeah, that was a really, really, really bad match for Magnus. It's not that he's going to lose the match. It's like how he played. All right, so he played knight d2 as I predicted. h5 because, you know, black has to win, must win. Okay, b6, killing the knight. He steals a pawn. Got to steal a pawn. And yeah, white's up a pawn. I agree with that. Yeah. All right, so white has a big advantage here. He's up a pawn. Black doesn't really have a lot for it. And black's in a must-win situation. From the position that black had, where it was really boring and no winning chances, this is probably better than what it was. But MVL and Magnus, who both have to win this round, they're not doing a good job. Yeah. Let's see. Bleach. He gave up another pawn. Wow, he didn't defend this pawn. All right. I guess white can just take this and trade all the rooks, too. That's not a good move when you have to win, because white can start trading everything, and these pawns are still weak. Black wants to keep the rooks on the board for later, so that wasn't a great move. Knight c5 is correct. All right, so white's losing unless he takes this and allows this perpetual check. If you allow perpetual check, you lose the match. So he can't do that. Magnus can't play bishop f5 because knight c4, knight a4 is an immediate draw. The only other move that doesn't lose immediate... Okay, so he did play that, which he has to play queen d6. And then after knight a4, king c1. Oh, it says that black has to... It's still a perpetual or black checkmates white. Oh, well. Yeah, it's not running the king away because you're getting crushed. Yeah, rook e8 check is no good. And knight b2 is no good. All right. Anyway... he played bishop f5, and knight b3 is an immediate draw, and knight a4 is. I guess knight b3 is even easier, I guess. Then what, king a2, knight c1. Ooh, knight c1 is really nice. So after knight b3, we're threatening mate. Okay, so if you go here, not only is black perpetualing, but black's winning. Yeah, this is just mate because the rook's hanging. The rook's on h3 for some reason. Rook h3. Okay, so you have to play king a2. You have to. And then knight c1 check. And you can't take the knight because... You can't take the knight, but this is also a draw. Yeah. And then obviously king here is a draw because we're repeating. So that's one of the draws. And then if you take the knight, I go check. I go queen a3. This is the only move that doesn't get mated. And then queen b3, queen a3 draw. Perpetual check. So Geary will see that. Knight a4 also draws in this position. And they're both perpetuals. And those are the only moves. If he does something else, he's losing. And both of these moves draw. So, all right. And he chose the knight b3 way. That's the easier way. I agree. King a2 is forced. And actually, every move draws here. Knight c1, knight d2, bishop d5. They're all completely drawn because we have perpetual check everywhere. After knight d2, I think white has to play well to not lose, because this is checkmate. So gotta stop checkmate. And then we have this perpetual right here. The king can't go here, so I'm threatening check, 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 and I'm threatening mate. So knight d2 is probably the easiest draw. Knight c1 is a draw because of bishop d5 and whatever. And then bishop d5 is also a draw. And in fact, white has one move that draws, and he might not find it. This isn't an easy draw. This move looks good, but it gets mated. Mate. So he has to play queen d6, allowing double, triple, quadruple discovered check. But the only way to draw is this. And then this is the best play. So Geary has lots of ways to try to win, and Magnus has one defense that draws. So it's going to be a draw. All right. And he played the knight c1 way. Magnus can't play king b1 because then knight b3. So he has to take it. Because if he plays king b1, knight b3, it's a draw. It's just repeating. And then bishop d5, queen a3 is a draw because the only way to stop mate is c4. And then we have perpetual. So this game's going to be a draw. And let's see if MVL got some compensation here. Takes, takes, takes. Always play bishop f6. h4. I mean, white's up 2 pawns, but I guess in a must-win situation, MVL's just doing the best he can. 2 bishops, sort of a weird position. All right. Okay. He's trying. And did this game end yet? He played always repeat. He'll play rook takes c1 now. No, I mean, Magnus made a lot of bad moves this game. Queen e1 was bad. h5 was bad. Rook h3 was bad. The opening choice that he played was bad. This is bad. Bad day for the office. 100 centidues. And as everyone predicted before the round, Magnus loses the match to Geary. What? Well, wait a minute. This is a draw. He didn't even try. Man, Magnus didn't even take the knight and try to win. He just said, all right, draw. So the game's over. The game was drawn here. And the game's over. All right, now again, I'll show you the variation if Magnus, tries. Bishop d5 check. Always play king b1. Queen takes a3, threatening mate, 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 mate. Everything's mate. So he has to play c4. And maybe Magnus thought he was losing here, but actually he's not. The engine doesn't find a win. But obviously, that's a pretty easy draw. So, yeah. All right, so the Magnus game ended after knight b3. And this is the final position. That was no problem for Geary. Geary was better or equal the whole game with black with no problem. And all these moves are just, ridiculous. Rook h3? God. Come on. Watching Night Horse my whole life. I never saw that. Okay, Geary beats Magnus. 2.5, 1.5. And it could have been worse. Geary might have won this game. Geary might have won the previous game. Magnus was lucky to lose 2.5, 1.5. Truth hurts. All right. MVL got some chances. Generally, you really don't want black to play h3 here. You don't want that because you have a dark squared bishop. This is a white squared bishop. So you got to play h3. And Farouj 16 doesn't know that, right? I'm old, so I know that. And the engine says h3 and white has a big advantage. This move is like, trade all the pieces and draw, I win the match. But now that king's no good. Now it's still better for white, but this was a very bad move, letting him play h3. Can't let him play h3. And you'll notice in the Winnow when white plays h4, h5, black always plays h6 before white plays h6. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. All right. So white's better here, but it's much, much worse than when the pawn was here and he could have played h3. Yeah, that was a very bad decision by Firouzja. So the game is still in play. All right, so Firouzja's up 2-1. If he wins or draws, he wins the match. If black wins, we have Armageddon. And Giri beat Magnus 2.5, 1.5, and Magnus was lucky to get 1.5. God damn. Matt Larson texted me, should have told Carlsen to never play f3. No, he knows that. Okay, so that thing that I told you about, the stream in Karen, it said it was 9 p.m. PST when it's PDT, obviously. That's Wesley So versus Danny Wrench, and it's an adoption match. Wesley has to win 10-0.
Oh, okay.
And then they do another one. So I think there's two matches. I don't know what the time control is. And then they're supposed to adopt them. Yeah. Win 10-0. Truth hurts. Let's see. 70 people liked my thing, never play f3. Yeah, but was Giri one of them? Did any grandmasters like that? That's all that matters. So far, it's just Rufus and Doofus liking my comments. Where's all the super GMs? Come on. They're busy doing commentary, I guess. Time for Giri to come in the top 4 and win the tournament. Except for one thing. Blah, blah, blah. A moral victory for Carlsen as he gets a chance to equalize in game 4. What? What happened? Sasha steaming, Sasha trolling Lawrence. There's not much about him losing. Okay, Jan Gustafsson, after Giri finally plays knight takes e4. How does Magnus keep missing this? And us, by the way. That's funny. Yeah, Magnus missed knight takes e4 twice that game, but Giri only missed it once. All right, very suspicious Twitter also. All right, back to whatever it is I was doing. Okay, so this is the last position I saw. Was this? Whoa. Was this, and then knight d2. This should be 6, a4. All right, white is up 2 pawns again, but his king's not very safe. And now his king is safer. So even though black is down 2 pawns, he does have the 2 bishops. He has the white squares. White's king is a little bit open. So the engine only says white is slightly better, even though white's up 2 pawns. So from what the opening that MVL had, this is pretty good. The game's going to go on for a long time. There's a lot of pieces on the board he has chances to win. So, pretty good. So is leading Danny 5-0 right now. Well, obviously. Yeah. If you want to see how good these players are, when they play each other, you don't really know. But if these guys play like me and Danny and Ginger GM, then you see how good they are. Yeah. All right, F5, put tic-tac-toe, just in case. I mean, the goal is for MVL to make the game never end, and hopefully with his His kingside space advantage. His two bishops. His white squares. And white's time trouble, if it happens, then, maybe a blunder or something. Something. I mean, black's not winning now. Black's worse now. Black's down 2 pawns. But, the game goes on and on and on and on. Check C24 Twitter again. I have to check it again? God. Why are you making me check it again? Let's see. Chess 24. Aha! Geary beats Carlsen. Oh, that was funny. Geary got up from the board and started jumping like this, like as a joke. Oh, he did the shush. He did this. That's a really complicated explanation. Yeah. So Geary was beating Magnus. Geary had a plus score against Magnus for a long time. And then Magnus was beating Geary. They had that thing in St. Louis, the thing you go in and talk, like the confessional booth. Yeah. Yeah, so Magnus was like going to beat Geary, and he went to the confessional booth and went like that, like shh. Like it's a sports thing. Like shushing the crowd, And so after he beat Magnus, Geary did. Oh, snap. Then he got up and started doing this. Good. Nobody deserves it more. All right. These things are too complicated. All right, go Geary. Let's see. Ben Feingold saw it immediately. Rawr. Something like that. Never play F3. That is correct. All right. What happened here? F5, H3, King H7, King G1. It's not great planning for white. King here, King here. All right, what's the time situation? Somebody tell me. $100 centidues. Ali Rez is stronger than MVL, I guess. Half a minute to 5:20? Oh, 5:50 to what? Who's ahead? Who has 50 seconds? 5 minutes MVL, 20 seconds Fallujah? Really? All right, we got 50 seconds for Fallujah. FIDE rules, Geary's only around 2 hip thrusts. Man, the truth hurts. All right, this is what we call 50-50. Yeah? Damn. Well, this is everything that he wanted. 2 bishops, an attack on white's king. The game never ends. Fallujah has no time. MVL has plenty of time. That's the most he could have hoped for. But white really should have played H3 when black's pawn was on H4. Letting his king get open like this was bad. So MVL's... See, the thing is, a lot of the computer lines are black playing F4, and F4 is risky because that could lead to equality if they trade everything like Queen G4, or even trading more pawns. So the thing is, the way the engine looks at the position is white's up 2 pawns, black has compensation, and if black plays these certain moves, white can make certain moves to keep his advantage. But what the engine doesn't understand is white wants to draw because he wins the match. So any move that black makes where white has a very easy draw, black can't do that. The engine doesn't know that because the engine thinks if white draws, that's good for black because black's down 2 pawns. So the engine analysis isn't correct for this game because it doesn't have enough contempt, etc. Go Key and Peele. I've seen Key and Peele. They're all right. Obviously, the best skit is when they pronounce the NFL players' names. Actually, wait a minute. Maybe it's the one where the kids are in class and they pronounce their names wrong. That's close. Same skit, basically. JJ Wad 95 has subscribed. Good. All right. So he played Queen G4, Queen A6, The engine says equal, but black needs more than equal. Whoa! Queen A5, triple question mark. He's sacrificing a piece, thinking he sees a perpetual. There is no perpetual. So that was a very bad blunder. He has no time on his clock. Now, he's not necessarily losing because he can check a million times and the black king is open and white has a couple pawns, but there is no perpetual. The bishop is stopping a lot of the checks. So queen takes A5, the engine says black is winning. So that was a really bad blunder in a must-draw position. But MVL might think there's a perpetual and trust Firouzja not do that. Doesn't really have much of a choice, though. He's got to take that bishop. Yeah, that was terrible, frankly. He did take. There's no perpetual. There's king h5, queen h8, king g6, and the king gets out. So that was went from an equal to losing in one move, and Firouzja only has seconds left. Black's a piece up, and the knight on d2 is attacked, and f2 is attacked. God damn. I mean, MVL's winning now. Queen f5, a colossal blunder. Although he had no time on his clock, so all right. Now bishop takes f2 wins, g takes f4 wins. MVL's the kind of guy to play bishop takes f2. Problem is, if the king doesn't take the bishop, then g5 is hanging. Yeah, now bishop takes f2 doesn't win, because the king h2. So very difficult win for black, because his king is so exposed. But g takes f4 is the only winning move. Yeah, bishop f2, king h2 doesn't work, because now the pawn on g5 is hanging. And the pawn on e4. Gotta have some pawns left. So MVL has to find g takes f4. Go MVL. Go Armageddon. Go something. Yeah. Geary won his match 2.5, 1.5. Although somebody wrote 2.5 to 1. G takes f4. Really tough to find. I mean, there's bishop takes f2 and there's g takes f4. Are there other moves? I guess queen takes d2 is legal. Queen takes d2, probably f5 is the perpetual, I'm guessing. Looks like it. I think f5 just draws. That would be funny if MVL wins with black to tie the match and Carlsen had no hope with white to tie the match. That wasn't what we were expecting. Come at me, bro. Subscribed. What's the time situation? MVL 3 minutes, Firouzja 20 seconds. The truth hurts. All 3 results possible this game. Will MVL find g takes f4? The strongest move. Is MVL one of the top 5 players in the world because he got his diploma in the mail? Or did he earn it? You got to earn that 2800 rating, MVL. Let's go. Come on, your opponent's 2372. Come on. Now, what I'm saying is you got me in a red. You don't want to see me in a red. Oh, I don't want to see you in a red. Well, let me tell you something. I can't finish the quote because I get kicked off of Twitch. But good book, Pulp Fiction reference. Good. Yeah. 100 Senzadoos. The engine is excited. Me donating $60 a year or subbing on Twitch for a year. I don't know which one gives me more money. He played it. That's why he's 2,800. God damn. G takes f4, the only winning move. I guess donating 60 a year is more money for me. And it costs you the same. So yeah, do the donation to the club. That's better, I guess. I just do both. All right, so G takes f4. That is correct. Queen takes f4. Bishop f6 is correct. And black is winning, although all three results will happen. Two bishops, what else? Updated the score. Geary wins. God damn. Let's see. Where's my two bishops, what else? It's got to be there somewhere. There it is. They are. Black has the two bishops. This is the game that doesn't end. Do both. This guy said, should I subscribe or should I donate to the club? And I said, do both. So he did. Emilio. Yay. Thanks for the sub. I analyzed it with the engine. Bishop f2 was winning. Some guy said that, so that had to be wrong because the guy said it. Both sides with less than a minute, confusing the audience. E3, god damn. Not just a simple normal move, but always the craziest move from MVL. E3. Wow. Opening up the king even further. Now, these moves aren't going to be the best because this position is too complicated and both sides have seconds left. So, like, every move they make, the engine's like, I don't like that move. But, I mean, okay, this position makes no sense and both sides have seconds and it's for the match and, you know, playing on the internet. Ferrucio's internet probably went down. A tall move, gifted 10 subs. Hooray, a tall move. You're the best. Although white did play knife f5 and black had the two bishops. Man, this is great. All three results will happen. Somebody tell me the clocks. They got to have like 3 seconds each. Queen d7, threatening everything. Queen g5 check, defending most. The queen can go to f4, g7, or f6 to defend the two bishops. What else? Ali Reza 10 seconds, MVL 150. It's hard to have 10 seconds with a 10-second increment.
13 seconds.
Damn.
Oh, no, it's 21 seconds to 150.
Let's see. He played queen f4, king g2. Dum, 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 chomp, chomp, chomp. He was worried about queen g3 check, so he stopped that. The engine wasn't worried about it, so I don't know. I'd be worried about it. The engine goes chomp, 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 chomp. Always repeat. Never play f3. King g3, that is correct. Man, this is a great game because all three results could happen any second. Black must win, white must draw. And I don't know. I don't know. Whoever's got better nerves. So we play queen d3 check, king g2. Black hasn't really been doing much so far. All right, now that move seems to give away the game. Knight e3 is a draw now because it threatens knight f5 and queen takes d4. And if you trade, you're not going to win queen. Queen and bishop versus queen is a draw. Yeah, so that was a blunder, queen c4. Now with correct play, it's a draw. Yeah, even if white had no pawns here, it's still a draw. Yeah, so this is a draw now. I can't imagine him losing. It's hard to lose. Queen and bishop versus queen. I drew Irina Krush at the 2005 U.S. Championship. I had queen against queen and bishop, and it looked like she was mating me, but I always could tiptoe out. It was like really bad, and so I drew. I think it was 2005. I could be a year or two off. Yeah, look up the game. I was white. Was I white? No, I don't remember. I think I was black. Anyway, I played Crush. I was dead lost. And then I ended up drawing queen against queen and bishop. And it was bad. It was like the worst queen against queen and bishop you could have. Maybe 2005. Yeah, that's correct. You should have taken on B2 earlier. You are correct. Brownie with ice cream donated 3 subs. Good.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, this is just a draw. So we'll see no Armageddon today. Both players that had to draw did. And as I knew before the round started, Faruja and Geary win. What? It's the most drawn of all positions. Queen c6 is a weird move because your queen's on a white square, but I don't know. Faruja's 2,700. He shouldn't lose a dead drawn position, no matter what his time on his clock is. Never. Man, it's hard to win when your bishop's pinned. The guy checks you every move. That makes it tough. Now they have Geary doing commentary. 123 centidues. What should I look for when looking for a long-time chess coach? I don't know. The coach loves you a long time, I guess, right? He didn't say long-term. He said long-time chess coach. Yeah, if the coach loves him long time, that sounds good, right? Yeah. Nice save. Don't get a chess coach. That's one way to do it. Geary commentary on how to draw. If there's anybody who could do it, it's Geary. Now white plays for the win. What should that be, pawn? I mean, his only hope is that, like, he hangs his queen or his time runs out. I guess those are hopes. It's Karen.
Let's see.
Pay him years in advance. Long-time coach. That's right. Yeah, the tournament was in 2004, and it was the 2005 U.S. Championship. I know why, too, but I don't want to spend hours on the stream explaining that. That was very suspicious. See, this is the most black can get. You know, bishop d5 and the queen and bishop are mating the king, but they don't. So, it's starting to look like my crush game where it looks like you're getting mated, but you're not. Always repeat. 100 centidues. Term, there you go. Good, good. Didn't queen e7 check draw immediately? Queen e7 check. Queen. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't think queen e7 check was ever legal, so I don't know. Aha! You mean here. Then bishop e6. Yeah. You mean here, yeah. Okay. All right, so bishop d5, king f1, queen f3. Yeah, you can't win this. I tried to lose it to crush, but I didn't. Will he make it to move 100? The answer is fries. Queen c5. All right, wait a minute. Oh, the pawn's on b4 still. Is it on b4 still? Oh, it is. Ah. And then after bishop here, we play check. Bam. Oh, snap. Check, check. Now, this is still a draw, but you don't trade queens. That's actually pretty funny. Wow. Amazing. Who would have thunk it? Not I. Not I. So there was never an instant draw because every move is check. This is the actual game. All right. So this is funny. The chess.com engine was saying black's better, black's better, black's better, but not winning. And then when he took the h3 pawn, it said all zeros because, it's table based. So now there's 6 pieces, so I knew everything. I mean, not really, but yeah. Yeah, there's no way to win queen and bishop versus queen unless there's like a forced mate that, starting position. Is it possible to put faces on the blank avatars? That's very important. Sure, why? I thought about that. The answer is fries. Probably chess.com could do it, but they probably don't care. I agree. One guy wrote, black is doing well considering. Considering what? We're on move 83, so we might get to move 100. Maybe. Geary really beat Carlsen? No, we're just kidding. That didn't happen. The guy wrote, Geary really beat Carlsen. There's a picture of Naka laughing. Life advice for 3 subs. I tell my boyfriend I'm okay with him being a vegan, even though I will dump him the moment he starts eating tofu. What? Tofu's great. I think you should learn how to eat tofu. Tofu's the best. The best, Jerry, the best. Yeah, love tofu. MVL can get the B pawn, but Firouzja doesn't care. Because if he doesn't get checkmated, he don't care. And he ain't going to get checkmated. So, yeah. It's gold, Jerry. Gold! Where's Geary from? Probably his mom. And the game ended. They agreed to a draw. That is correct. Wow, amazing. Firouzja won his match. Geary won his match. No Armageddon needed. All right, I think Firouzja and Geary are, I think Geary's in 7th and Firouzja's in 8th, but I don't know. I don't know what the standings are. All right, probably I'll do the recap tonight, 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening. Probably, 6 or 7 hours. Probably. If I don't, I'll do it tomorrow morning. I'll let you guys know. Wow, that was amazing. Yeah, it's the first match Ali Reza won, and it's the first match Geary won. And I think both matches were 1 win and 3 draws. So there you go. Wow, what crazy matches. Man. Well, it's 15-minute chess. Anybody can win. We learned about it today. Frankly, terrible. Standings, is Carlsen tied for first with Naka now? Or is Naka just in first? So Carlsen lost a match. He won a match at Armageddon. And he won 3 matches. So that's 11. Right. And did Naka win 4 matches and lose 1? Or did I make that up? Oh, so if Naka wins tomorrow, his match, is he in clear first? Yeah, he won 4 matches and lost 1, or 3 matches and 1. Yeah. So if Naka wins tomorrow, he's in clear first. If Naka loses, Carlsen's in clear first, I think. But yeah, Carlsen has 3 wins, a loss, and a draw in his 5 matches. And the drawn match, he won the Armageddon, so he got 2. So for having 3 wins, a loss, and a draw, he has the most points ever because he won the Armageddon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I knew Naka lost to Magnus, but if Naka wins tomorrow, he's in clear first. And if Naka draws his match tomorrow and wins an Armageddon, then he's tied for first. Very confusing. Yeah. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for the donations, the subs, the bits, the 2 big upsets today, etc. I did the recap before, so I've done more than I usually do at this point. I got here at 8 o'clock in the morning, and so forth. All right, see you guys tonight or tomorrow morning. More likely tonight. More likely. Bye, everybody.